Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of Hashtag Anime Talk. I'm your host, Mr. Lynden, and this is episode 51, joined by my co-host, as always, to my left, Mr. Chrissa SJE. Chrissa, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing Gucci bandana, man. You already know what I'm saying, quarantining it up. You
Yeah,
feel
just on our Zoom shit per usual.
For sure, for sure.
But how you been? I haven't seemed like it's been a minute since our last episode.
Yeah, it does feel like it's been a minute. I feel like a lot of shit has happened. You feel me?
We do have a good bit of news, low key. Like there is like a good bit of news. Some of it negative, but a lot of it positive. The negative news is just delays because of COVID. Also,
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
we got to go on live this week because one of our questions was they was like G Senpai sent in when y'all gonna go live again, and I was like, oh, well, we'll answer that on the show, but we'll try to go live this upcoming on the off week.
For sure, for sure. Soon, for sure.
Not G Senpai, not GSP, G Senpai. My bad, G Senpai.
Yeah, you said G Senpai.
Oh, I said G Senpai. Okay, yeah. So we'll be going live soon, G Senpai. Don't you worry. But without further ado, because we will at the end of the episode, me and Chrissa will be discussing Demon Slayer the manga. So once we get through the reviews of the show, if you are not caught up, get out. Like, leave. It's over with. I'm telling you right now, the news is the manga will end in May. So it's at its climax. It's about to end soon. And we're going to talk about that. So we didn't want to put it in the news because we're going to spoil. And we'll talk about that at the end of the show because me and Chris got a lot to discuss about Demon Slayer. But without further ado, let's get into the notes. First up, we got the new God of High School trailer was released, and the series will be out in, I believe they said July. I believe it's July this summer. But, Krista, what'd you think of the new trailer, God of High School?
It was pretty hard. I'm not gonna lie. I had high anticipation for this one just because it's one of the most talked about on Twitter. Like out of all the web series, this is probably the one I heard more about than Tower of God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm fucking with Tower of God. So to see this one animated, it looks like a dope ass animation style. It looks like some parts of it are 3D, some parts of it are not 3D, but it looks pretty dope. I ain't gonna lie.
This looks amazing. I'm so excited for this because this is fighting to this is a straight up tournament style anime. I'm super, super pumped. It's gonna be exhilarating. It's gonna be a wild ride. And the fact that like we see all the different fight styles already in the trailer, it just shows like, oh, okay, it's going down. This is one that I've read a decent amount because I really do enjoy the trailer. So it's like, okay, I mean, not the trailer. I really do enjoy the story. So it's like, okay, now that the anime coming out, I'm about to stop reading because the animation style looks just like, well, not just like, but it's similar to Tower of God in the sense of how it's original. It's not like everything else we've been seeing. So I'm super, super excited for this. And yeah, I believe it's coming out in July. I'm just waiting for this to give me the little end thing. But yeah, I think it's coming out in July. Yeah, July. Okay, cool.
So yeah, teasing this trailer pretty early.
July 2020. And this is something that's interesting. I wonder how long Crunchyroll has had these finished, both Tower God and God of High School, because other things that are being made right now, like for example, we're gonna get to in actually the next topic, like Operate Ranman, Millionaire Detective, Kingdom Season 3, all these things we talked about last episode, delayed. We don't know when they're coming back. Millionaire Detective may be back in July, depending on how things go. And we will talk about Promised Neverland. But I'm super excited that we have these Crunchyroll originals to keep us kind of in the anime vibes.
For sure, for sure. I feel like they just gave us that trailer. They were like, Crunchyroll Originals on the way. And then boom, we got our first ones.
And they just rolling them out.
And yeah, the trailer, just to say they have this much animated already, it's like, damn, we thought y'all had all this in the works and planned. Y'all got this shit ready to go. It's like they had this well under wraps. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe all these webtoons that's been blowing up over the past year or so, a few years, maybe, you know what I'm saying? A lot of the manga has been getting promoted a little bit heavier last year because they knew it was on the way. So people are a little bit more familiar with a lot of these projects.
Yep, and I'm thinking that it's gonna go this Tower God finish up July, get God of High School finish up around September, October, and for the winter we get another one.
For sure, and I'm looking forward to all of them because I'm not gonna lie, Tower of God was one of the ones I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna fuck with it. I'm about to see a trailer, and I saw a trailer, and I was like, the trailer looks cool, but I'm gonna have to actually see the show. And I remember we talked about the first episode when we were like, I don't know. When we first watched it, when we came back, like
I'm hooked.
honestly, it's taking me by storm. Like I'm at the point where I'm about to start reading it just after and we'll talk about that later, but I'm at the point after these last 2 episodes we just watched these past 2 weeks. Like it's one of those ones that I haven't gotten hooked like this by a lot of other manga that I've been started to read, or a lot of anime that I've watched. A lot of anime I like as an anime, but it's hard to get me into the manga. You know what I'm saying? But this one,
but see, I suggest keep watching this one because the art style for the manga looks completely different.
it's just the story that's really crazy. It might be one of those situations like Promised Neverland too, that I can't get into the manga. I love watching the anime, especially with like the suspense.
And that's how I am. Honestly, I felt like you when because I tried reading it and it was just like, it don't hit the same.
Like I ain't gonna lie, whatever studio they got to animate it was a great animation team, and I'm looking forward to seeing the rest because just the shit that I've been seeing teased, and because I'm not up to date with the manga, but just seeing like, because you can't run from like cover arts and like you know what I'm saying, if they were on the cover of the Shonen Jump magazine, or if they were anywhere in promotional shit, or people just dropping shit on Twitter, you gonna see some certain shit, and I just want to see a lot of the things that I've been seeing animated. I'm itching for that season 2.
And I'm ready for God of High School just for the fact that we haven't had a real tournament arc like this. Like God of High School is straight up just like dark tournament style for at least the first arc. Straight up just coming in, trying to fight, see who's the best fighter. And everybody has different styles. And the way they approach martial arts is super, super dope. So I'm really excited for God of High School coming in July. We will be reviewing that. But let's get to the delays due to COVID-19. Promised Neverland Season 2 coming January 2021. Kingdom delayed until further notice. Millionaire Detective should be back by July. Just depends. Operate Randman delayed. Chrissa, how does this news affect? I was so sad when I saw that Promised Neverland thing.
The one that I haven't seen yet is Attack on Titan. And if we get that one, it's going to break my heart. It's going to crush me. I'm going to be crumbled. But as far as Promised Neverland, that one was the first blow. I don't want to know any other blows, but I was itching for the Promised Neverland.
See, I feel like
hooked on it too.
Attack on Titan is done. I feel like Attack on Titan, this new season is done. Whereas I feel like they were working on Promised Neverland like as we speak.
Yeah.
And that's why they had to stop. Same thing with all these other ones. And that's interesting compared to like how Tower of God is, how God of High School is. These things are done. Voice actors have got their stuff in. Whereas these other ones is like, we're doing it as we go along.
And then we're not going to know, like as far as it's confirmed right now, we're going to get, like, did they even say how many episodes we're getting for Tower of God?
Oh, I think it's 13.
So we're getting 13 episodes. Who knows when or if we are going to get a season 2. I think this is still very much in the experimental phase as far as the Crunchyroll Originals. I think they're going to want to keep it going. Like Netflix Originals are never going to end. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants originals. But
I don't know. I think we're definitely getting a season 2 just for how the popularity has been.
Of Tower of God for sure.
Yeah.
And probably God of High School too. But they got a lot of shits, you know what I'm saying, that they're planning on dropping. And at the same time, like we had to wait 2-3 years for Attack on Titan and One Punch Man, right?
Yeah, One Punch Man, it seems like 3 to 4. So hopefully we can get some new next year. But like you said, they got a rollout. But something that we're going to get to later in the store and later in the news might help that. But, man, we reviewed it really early. But coming on May 28th, Dorohedoro will be on Netflix. I don't know if the dub's going to be there. I know for sure sub May 28th.
People, you know what I'm saying?
Dorohedoro will take the Twitter sphere by storm and everybody's going to go crazy and be like, this shit was flames. But just remember, the boys told y'all about it in January.
Bro, I'm excited about this because if they drop it with dub, like usually Netflix will do, if it's a Netflix original, they'll drop sub and dub at the same time. And I already watched the sub.
Only reason why I don't think they have it is because of this COVID stuff.
You're right. You're right about that. Unless they've been working on it since back when the sub was dropping. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. That is true. So if they have been, then we might have a shot. And I would like to see Dorohedoro at least see how it sounds dubbed.
Yeah, because I want to compare it because this is one of those ones that if you get Kaimon wrong, I'm going to feel a type of way. Cause,
if you get Noi and Shin wrong, I'm going to feel sad.
Yeah, and I feel the type of way about dubs. I'm big on like the Demon Slayer dub having like the best Zenitsu dub voice actor, but not the best Tengen or even Tanjiro for that matter. But like this one, there's certain ones, man. You just got to get it right. Matter of fact, all of them. Ibisu, you know, like
Yeah,
we got a bunch of lovable characters
yeah,
in there.
facts.
Even what's the heart
The
guy's
Kaido.
name?
Oh, you
Shin?
talking about no? It's Shinonoi, and then crap. How am I forgetting the boss's name? The mushroom homie. I can't believe
Fuck, I was just looking at him. Yeah, In.
Yeah, In. So yeah, they got to get them all right from the Kaido to Shinoi, In, Kaimon, the doctors. Like everybody has to be up to par because this anime is grade A quality and they can't mess this up. But
I can't wait to see how how the timeline reacts to this when it drops and everybody. Because I remember Beastars, everybody was on Beastars as soon as Netflix dropped it, and it was very polarizing. But this one, I feel like it's not gonna be as polarizing. I feel like it's gonna be one sided. Be like, hey, this hardest shit of 2020 so far.
It's gonna break Twitter at least for one day. I feel like it's gonna trend. But next up, speaking of something that always trends with One Piece, Boichi. Shout out to Boichi, man. Boichi is drawing the Ace light novel into a manga. This is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy Shonen Jump is doing this. We're gonna get more of Ace's story, potentially the fight with Blackbeard, or like a full drawn out version of the fight. I'm super excited about this because to me, and when people tell me they're Ace fans, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm not really the biggest Ace fan because I felt like I didn't have enough time with him, and he wasn't my guy. Whereas Sabo, that's my guy. I'm with Sabo. That's the brother I fuck with. Unlike Ace, but this may get me on the Ace bandwagon.
I fucks with Ace, man. I ain't gonna lie. But then again, I haven't been caught up with everything Sabo does either. You know what I'm saying? I'm towards the end of the you know what I'm saying? I'm still catching up, but at the same time, I didn't even know they had an Ace novel out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's one of those light novels.
About that.
See, I hope this becomes a trend to where we get some of the Naruto light novels, like the Kakashi. We get some of these other light novels into manga, and I think that would be great. And then also things like putting Boichi on One Piece. Maybe we get Horikoshi on Naruto. We could get Tite Kubo doing giving these different creators chances to draw some of our favorites and some of their favorites, because I know Boichi loves One Piece, just like I know Horikoshi loves Naruto and One Piece. It's like that would be dope to see these new era goats doing some of the classics.
For sure. And then definitely like Boichi. Boichi's got such a defining art style. Like
it's beautiful.
It's signature too. Like you could tell it's Boichi when you see it for the most part. You know what I'm saying? If you're familiar with all his other work.
Like look at his Zoro Mihawk stuff.
Yeah, like didn't he do a one shot not too long ago for Shonen Jump?
He did.
I remember I saw that. It was very quick.
He did the Zoro versus Mihawk fight.
Just the whole fight.
And he might have did a little bit more of the beginning of it, but it was mainly just like, Zoro versus Mihawk with the little.
Yeah, I want to say it was just one chapter. It was just like a one-shot quick chapter. But that was drawn beautifully.
I wonder how many chapters we're going to get for this. Hopefully we get like at least 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're probably going to get, I'm imagining like 5 chapters, enough to have like a one volume, enough to have a one-shot volume and not like a small mini volume. I imagine like five chapters, with the first one being the strongest as usual. You know, the first one's got like 60 pages or so, and everything else is going to have like probably 20. I'd be cool with that if it's just one volume's worth. And
I'd be down with that. So shout out to Boichi, and when that comes, we will let y'all know. Okay, we got some live action news. Cowboy Bebop season 2 has already been confirmed by Netflix. They are doing it.
Wait, so you telling me Cowboy Bebop season 2 live action is confirmed before season 1 drops?
That's how much faith they have in it. They did the same thing with The Witcher.
They did sign up for 2 goddamn Death Note movies before. I want to say, I don't know if the second one dropped, but I know that they've been talking about the second one was in production.
I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think they're doing it.
Yeah, because the reception wasn't hard enough to me. Like, if you got a second one locked in, you got to make sure that first one slap, and that was a miss. And I think they feel that way with Cowboy Bebop, and so we'll see. Apparently, they're going to follow the storyline, but go different, expand. The word they used was expand the story. Maybe get some more of Spike's backstory with Vicious. And if they do it right, it could be great, expanding on it. But if it's wrong, we gonna know instantly. I'm not gonna lie, man. All I gotta say is this: like season 2, like confirming a season 2 before season 1 even drops, like it just shows confidence. So I'm, in one hand, I'm like, okay, let's see, but at the same time, I feel like Netflix knows they're working with something.
Yeah.
But M. Night Shyamalan thought he was working with something when he ruined Avatar: The Last Airbender with live action. So it's like you can't just rely on the source material to get you through your first 2 seasons. You know what I'm saying? You can't just feed off that nostalgia. People just be like, oh, I love Cowboy Bebop. Thank God they got a live action. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got to do it right, because if they don't, then it's just going to be pointless. But that's
big waste of money.
That was the small news. In recent news, an upcoming announcement has come to light that Sony Pictures is planning on adapting a live-action version of the series One Punch Man. It will be written by duo Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinkerton. They wrote Cowboy Bebop, Venom, Jumanji, the new Jumanji. The series will also be produced by Arad Productions, Avi and Ari Arad. Variety states that Sony is very high on the property given its popularity, which also has them thinking about the possibility of adding another franchise to the pipeline. If this was Warner Brothers, I'd be cool. I do not have faith in Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures is straight up asshole. They have ruined Spider-Man. The fact that they say they're very high on the property given its popularity already makes my stomach flip. You're not high on the property because the story is good. You're high on it for the popularity to make a new universe. Because Marvel's taking back Spider-Man, you're like, ooh, we can have this other superhero universe and attract anime fans. This will be a flop if they don't get someone in who loves the property. I don't trust Sony, and I don't know how this is going to work.
Yeah, we need some real life anime fans on this, and we need some real One Punch Man fans. Like somebody who's caught up with the manga, somebody who reads the manga and watches the anime, somebody who didn't
get the creator on to help write it.
Exactly. Don't get somebody who just researched this shit to make the movie. Get somebody who has their heart in it. And I hope that's where, because like you said, the fact that they even said because of its popularity is kind of like, that
already makes my stomach do flips. Yeah, exactly. So these damn hiccups. But I don't know how I feel about One Punch Man being a live action due to the fact that when American audience are used to seeing superheroes do superhero stuff, One Punch Man is a satire. If they're going to go the Deadpool route with heavy comedy, it may work, but it also could be campy as hell. I just feel like this is another one of those ones where it's like, how's this going to work? Whereas my hero has the superhero thing, but it's a superhero show taken seriously. This is a satire. I don't know how this is about to work.
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. They could sell it. I remember Hancock was a satire kind of comedy action superhero film, but that was they know how to do American superhero movies. You know what I'm saying? Like America knows how to do superhero movies. Even
that's why I said Deadpool could possibly, if they go in the Deadpool vein where it's comedy and very like bloody, gory, it could work. Because One Punch Man is punching people and they're just going splat.
I just don't really understand why it's necessary. Every single time I see a new live action anime get announced, I'm like, why? Like, what is your motive? To get money? You're going to waste more money than you're going to get.
And my thing is, we've seen the anime live actions has been successful. Things like Ghost in the Shell, Akira, things that are more grounded in our reality and things that we can understand. Why not do a Black Lagoon live action, a Trigun live action? I feel like those things would work, whereas One Punch Man is a toss-up. It may work.
Black Lagoon would work really well because me and you are cultured. We're on Black Lagoon, you know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people who know Cowboy Bebop. They know Samurai Champloo, but you're like Black Lagoon. And they're like, damn, that's a good recommendation. I'm going to go peep it out. A lot of people haven't really been on it. Like more of your core anime fans, especially your old school fans too, will definitely be on it. But at the same time, some of these new kids haven't watched a lot of the, like even Lupin the Third. They probably haven't watched any of that old shit. So just that kind of thing that people are kind of unaware of, that's the kind of shit that would be great to do a live action, because not many people will be on your ass if you fuck it up. Like Cowboy Bebop, millions of people will be on your ass because everyone's seeing Cowboy Bebop. It's like usually a gateway anime into the world.
Yep, it's just like Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Evolution, how that was just the, like, what you chose the...
And that was the ultimate disrespect.
Exactly. Like, I didn't even understand what that story was telling. Like, was it a Dragon Ball story? Was it Dragon Ball Z? I don't know what that was telling.
And you would think people who do live actions would learn their lesson, but like Netflix themselves, when they did Death Note, like Netflix themselves, like the ones that's working on Cowboy Bebop, y'all don't have a good reputation right now.
But let me give them some leeway because the way they handled The Witcher. The Witcher shows me they might have learned from their mistakes because
The Witcher was hard.
They took a popular video game series and book series and did an adaptation of it, but did some original things, and I think it worked. The Witcher was great. So if it's like The Witcher, Cowboy Bebop can be great, but this One Punch Man thing, being it was with Sony, and if you've seen Venom, Venom's kind of ass. Like, it made a lot of money because Venom's a popular character, but that movie
got
sucks.
The money though. They got the money to throw into it.
That's true.
I was thinking about the Netflix with the Cowboy Bebop shit, but as far as like the One Punch Man, who are you gonna cast as Saitama? First of all, who's gonna be Saitama?
Oh God,
the thing that sells a lot of the comedy in One Punch Man is you go from this crazy epic dynamic action animation battle, and then you get the circle eyes. He's like, okay, that's like one of the biggest. You're not gonna get that in the live action at all. What's the point?
Who do you cast? Like, do you go for someone that's Asian? Do you go for someone that's white? Do you go for someone that's in the comedy realm? Do you go for someone that's more of an action actor? Like, for example,
they're gonna whitewash this shit.
Okay, so if you go Asian, do you go Henry Golding, who's like a big buff guy who's a great Asian actor, or do you go Randall Park for comedy, the guy from Fresh Off the... Like, it's like, which route do you go? Do you go Kumail Nanjiani and go different? Do you, like, which way do you go? And that's something, I don't know.
See,
like,
a lot of times in One Punch Man, Saitama looks derpy as fuck. He just looks like this, like, not really that swole. He's like this little skinny figure, bald head. He just walks around. He just looks regular until the action. Like, yeah, when the action hits, then he looks kind of badass. How are you going to cast somebody that's built like Michael Cera to then boot up and then turn into like Goku? You feel me? Because it's like you can't do that with the same actor unless you're spending buku money on the CGI.
You know what you could do
already?
You could do where you have Saitama in normal form as one actor and Saitama as the other form as a different actor. Where, you know how in Shazam, I don't know if you saw the DC movie, and granted, Shazam's a kid, and then when they say Shazam, you get another actor to be the buff person, but same premise. Like, when it's time to fight.
I've seen that like fucking that commercial with I don't know who the guy who plays Aquaman, but you know the commercial where he takes
Jason Momoa, yeah.
There's things you can do. It's probably not too hard to like
CGI.
Yeah, CGI it up. I've seen like they Will Smith, they CGI the whole movie with him. Like,
yeah, they did with that. Whereas he's fighting his twin or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we shall see about the One Punch Man live action. The final news story we have today, and I think this is big for the streaming wars. HBO Max will be launching May 27th. The service will cost $14.99 a month. You will get, but with the service, you'll get the entire Studio Ghibli film, 21 feature films will be available at launch, from Spirit Away to My Neighbor Totoro to Princess Mononoke, Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, Ponyo, Castle in the Sky, The Tales of Princess Kaguya, and many more films. Crunchyroll, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, and Rooster Teeth will also offer content through the service. Crunchyroll confirmed that only select content from Crunchyroll will be available on HBO Max because they still want their platform to remain as the only service to offer the company's full library. But that's okay because I feel like they're going to bring some anime they're going to bring mainstream anime in their original series. And that makes sense. And I'm cool with that. Toonami's going to give us original series, and then they'll build to giving HBO Max a full library. But I think for anime fans, the reason why I would say get it, because you get the Studio Ghibli fans movies where you can't stream it anywhere else. You'll get all these Crunchyroll originals, and you get Adult Swim, Cartoon Network, and HBO's full catalog. I think at launch, it's not as great as it will be this time next year. I think this time next year is when HBO Max will be a titan. I think they have to build to that, though.
So wait, you telling me it has like not only just Toonami shit, but all of like Cartoon Network and Adult Swim too?
Yeah, they're gonna have all of Cartoon Network's full library and Adult Swim.
That's reason enough for me to get it. And as far as having Crunchyroll exclusives too, that's a
and Toonami exclusives too. Too.
And
Yeah, that's the thing.
all the Miyazaki films in Studio Ghibli, because I ain't gonna lie, I want to say not all of them.
They're not streamable anywhere. They're not
right
on any
now?
streaming service. Nope. They're on Netflix, but for people in Europe.
Okay. I know they were not too long ago, but they probably took them all off recently.
Yep, because yeah, that's exactly why. And that's why
they're going all in.
That's why you see certain anime on Crunchyroll. So certain anime that's on Hulu that are Crunchyroll exclusives are getting snatched because HBO Max is coming and they're getting their stuff.
Why does them get the dub for the Crunchyroll exclusives, Crunchyroll Originals? Because Crunchyroll doesn't do dub; they do usually just sub. But imagine
is such a great point.
Out like that,
I could believe that's what it is. HBO Max give American audiences the English. I think you might be onto something.
Because I'm looking at it like, why would Crunchyroll just give that to them? You know what I'm saying? Why would Crunchyroll just be like, look, HBO, we're trying to get people to come to Crunchyroll, but you know what I'm saying? If they're just giving the Crunchyroll exclusives, think about them sitting there like, hey, look, we've been having our eyes on the streets with all this manga out. You know what I'm saying?
This
is the hottest shit. We're adapting it. We don't do dub. If you want this, you got to pay us this much, or
and that's what they do.
Whatever.
Yep,
it's smart. I can't even lie.
Yo, if that's the case, I'm gonna give you kudos when we find out because that's my
prediction.
That's a great prediction. But that's all the news we have right now. Let's jump into the question. The first question is from our guy Has. Has sends in a question. It's 2020, nice round number, nice new decade. In the past 10 years of anime, what has been the most influential release of a show?
In the past, what?
In this past decade, what was the most influential? Not the best anime, but the most influential.
2010 to 2020.
Yeah.
Most influential release.
Yep.
Whew.
I'm about to pull up because I got some answers.
Most influential release. That's a hard one because like I'm thinking about. I want to jump to say One Punch Man because that bitch had a big splash in the West. Like when it dropped, that shit went crazy out here. Like when One Punch Man first came out, season 1, like I remember motherfuckers who wasn't even on anime was like, "Hey, that One Punch Man." It's like, is that the only anime?
But it petered out.
You're right.
It fell off.
Like, as far as influence, it probably didn't have that much influence.
See, I'm thinking either in terms of movies, I'm gonna say Your Name. Movies, I think Your Name is influential because it started to show just there's other people besides Miyazaki making great anime movies, and the way that Your Name hit, we were able to get Weathering with You, and it just started this trend that I think we're going to see from now on. But in terms of anime shows, it's tough because I could say Attack on Titan was influential, but to me, if I had to say the most influential, what got the West back into anime heavy, My Hero Academia.
Yeah, My Hero Academia definitely had.
And I know Has isn't going to like that answer, but I think it's My Hero Academia by bridging superhero content with anime and making it accessible to the West, and thus by becoming accessible to the West, these new generation kids have their Dragon Ball Z, have their Naruto, and from My Hero being booming, we see more things happening. Without My Hero, I don't know if we get a Demon Slayer movie in theaters. I don't know if we get some of these things in theaters because we see the success of My Hero.
Yeah, that's true. I was gonna say something else. I was gonna say something.
What else you think?
I was thinking like Hunter x Hunter, but you got a great point with the My Hero in the movies and just the impact it's had. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
My
thing.
Hero will probably change a lot for the future.
He said if the question was influential. I'm not saying best because you got to think My Hero is one of the few manga that's been on the New York Times bestseller since it came out.
That's very true. Like that shit is big. The thing is, there's shit like some of our goats, you feel me? Like One Piece, that's big in Japan, and it took forever to get big in the West. It never really made that instant connect. Dragon Ball had that connect, you know what I'm saying? But in the West, that's why I said whenever Attack on Titan and like whenever One Punch Man hit, you see the West go crazy because we're not used to getting that kind of impact, or we haven't gotten that kind of impact since Dragon Ball. But My Hero has probably surpassed all that as far as in the West. And to say it's booming that hard in the East already, that when we get it, it's booting up just as much. That says a lot. Like just being when I went to the movies to see the movies, you know what I'm saying? The My Hero movies. The eclectic crowd that both of them brought in, and just how both crowds each time was huge, and people were cosplaying. They were treated like it was a mini convention.
And that's the thing. Like, I wouldn't be mad at your One Punch Man answer. I just think My Hero took that beginning like bubbling that they did, and they added fire to the gas. Like, they added gasoline to the fire that One Punch Man already had, and they took over their flame.
And see, the question was influential too. So definitely it has to go to My Hero, because they're setting the tone for the new era of shonen. You feel me? Everybody that's dropping right now wants to be My Hero. Like, whenever you're looking at Shonen Jump sales and shit like that, One Piece is always going to be at the top because that's an OG. When you look at the new generation, it's like Demon Slayer is doing really well sale-wise, but we know that's not going to last forever. The manga's not going to last forever itself. But as far as My Hero, everybody that's coming out, they're looking at them like that's the bar. That's the bar now. And I feel like everybody knows that. And just like how My Hero knows, and I think this is why they're doing so well, because I've always championed them on learning from everything that Dragon Ball and then the big three did, like Bleach, Naruto, and One Piece. They learned from that. Horikoshi learned from those guys to a T. Even others like Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho. And he takes all elements from everything, and it doesn't really take any elements. He just makes sure he
learns from their mistakes. Yeah, and they don't. I would also say Attack on Titan is influential in the sense of we're getting more darker stories. We're getting stories that don't necessarily have to be the One Piece long stretching things. With Attack on Titan, we see, without Attack on Titan, I don't know if we get Promised Neverland. I don't know if we get some of these new age, darker style of anime. So I would say Attack on Titan, My Hero are the two most influential of this decade. I would say of the 2010s. So solid question, Has. Thank you. Next question, and also shout out to what's his name? Jace Chrissa?
Yeah, Jace.
Jace, we cannot answer your question because neither Chrissa nor I have watched Keegan Ashura. But for you, by next episode, we will have at least watched at least 2 to 3 episodes so we know how strong he is. I promise you we will answer your question next week. But the next question is from Slick. Slick asks, why does Gon chase his father knowing he's a deadbeat but doesn't know shit about his mom and doesn't want to?
I never put 2 and 2 together, but he really does have that connection to where, like, I want to be just like my dad. What about your mom?
I feel like that might be a Japanese culture thing because look at One Piece. Luffy doesn't give a shit about his mom. He knows about his pops, and Garp, like, he knows who they are. Look at Naruto. Naruto didn't care about his mom till, like, he found out he had a mom. You know what I mean? Like, he was more concerned about the 4th Hokage. Like,
for sure.
That might just be a Japanese culture thing where sons are always chasing their father's approval and shit like that.
Man, I feel like I had to look up her name, but I feel like the main reason why Gon just didn't want to have anything to do with his mom or anything like that is because of Mito, the guy. I think it was what is it, Jing's cousin or whatever. Like, she's like, he said that, like, that's all I needed from my mom. I wouldn't want to disrespect her from, like, by even going concern myself with that. Because, like, imagine her being like your mother figure, and she told you, you know what I'm saying, your parents died or whatever, and I'm gonna be your mother figure, you know what I'm saying? So you wouldn't even, if you find out your mother's not dead, you wouldn't even be tripping on that shit. But your dad, I don't know. I feel like just because, did he already know that his dad was like the GOAT in the Hunter world?
Yeah, he did. I think
that's probably what it is. He's probably like, that was just so dope.
And he wanted to just be like his pops. I think that's what it was. And he just, like you said, he already had a mother figure in his life. Why go chase after one when I could just go chase after my pops because he has a dream that's similar to mine.
And then imagine them telling you your pops is the GOAT. You know what I'm saying? He's like one of the dopest hunters. You sitting there like, damn, this some daddy issue shit, but you sitting there like, damn, bro. This nigga didn't want to be in my life. Like on some whole Will Smith, Fresh Prince. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't want me, man, but you sit there like, this, it's got to be the coolest job ever if you'll ditch your whole family. I got to see what it's about. So he throws everything, all his visions and sets into finding his dad just because his dad left him and he wants to know what was so good to make his dad miss out on it.
And see what he's chasing in life. Maybe it's something that he would want as well. Shout out to Slick for that question. We got one more from Makai. Makai asks, have y'all ever wondered if anime really tells us the unknown truths and facts in our crazy world? I think story And I think that story represents our world, and they try to tell us things. I see it, I relate more to it in anime than I do in, let's say, normal everyday American TV and movies, because I know American TV and movies try to put other shit in it than like universal truths. But yeah, anime does that. Like look at Naruto. It teaches you about to believe in yourself, to work and go after your dreams. Look at Luffy, the idea that he wants freedom and to be truly free. And what's it mean to be truly free? He's not trying to gain power to rule over anybody. He's trying to gain power so you can be free. I always say the real freedom is financial freedom. And that's, in a sense, to us, financial freedom gets you power and thus make sure you don't have any worries. In the One Piece world, I'd say becoming Pirate King is financial freedom.
For sure.
Like, I think anime definitely reflects the truths of our world. And I think stories in general always show us a look at ourselves and what's real in this world. And I think it gives us glimpses at things you can add to your life to make your life better.
That's true. I feel like me personally, I've learned a lot from anime, and I'm still learning a lot from anime, and I'm still like catching certain things. Like I'll rewatch an old anime that I didn't really understand growing up, and I'll catch something and be like, damn, bro, this shit applies to like right now. So it's like you could just, and I find this in a lot of mediums. Like when I watch the news, when I watch real life stories, just I learn from every kind of instance. And I feel like a lot of these, especially shonen, especially some of these, even seinen, some of these underlying themes, it just gets you to think about certain things that are outside of your perspective. You see things from a lot of different perspectives, and you'll have a lot more range of things to be able to handle. You know what I'm saying?
And it's crazy because shonen gives you, they give you the dark side of perspective of the world, but it's more so hopeful. Whereas seinen, it's like, seinen gives you like these deep, like, nah, it's not like the world's fucked up. Like we gonna go through some of this dark shit.
I feel like shonen, they really give you that whole, man, life is fucked up, but you gotta make the best out of it.
Yeah.
And seinen is more like, hey, nigga, sometimes life just is fucked up. It's like
you just gotta deal with it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Shit is just wild, and shit will never be okay. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Before we get to the review, what you been watching? How you feel about Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
See, I really do. I'll say like this: at the point that I stopped at before I picked it back up, I was sitting there like, this is cool, but this ain't nothing that I would like say is GOAT, like top. Because people, I remember Heavenly the other day, Heavenly Controller said it was like he did one of those tweets because it's catchy right now. The little what's the best anime and why is it Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood? And I was like,
I don't think it's best of all time, but I got it top 5.
Now see, I wouldn't even be able to. That's my thing. I didn't see at that point how it could be in top 5. You feel me? Mm-hmm. Now I'm seeing more of like, okay, I'm getting it. Cause like, I remember with Bleach, before I started getting into Bleach, I was like, there's no way this is big 3. But now I'm like, okay, I see it. It's big 3, but it's not 1 or 2. It's 3. But with this one, it's like its own category. It's its own thing. To me, it seems like the prototype for what like Attack on Titan is, because it's very political, it's very deep, it's very story driven.
It's so many layers. It's an onion. There's so many layers to Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. The reason why I knock it is because the fights aren't great. But if you look at the philosophical meaning behind characters, if you look at the different elements of the homunculi being the 7 deadly sins and like how they connect to man and everything going on with father, and just like you said, the political intrigue, that is great storytelling.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like the way
it's
unfolding, like I want to say I'm on episode like 40 or 30 something.
What's going down?
Well, they just gave all the backstory with the war and everything, and how Roy Mustang was in a war with Homeboy. What's Homeboy with the long hair?
He was just snapping niggas, burning them. Talking about with Scar?
Yeah, for sure. So with Scar and everybody.
Fighting the Ishvalens. Low key, that's Germany.
The bad nigga too. And low key, I forget the bad nigga's name with the long hair. The nigga who like turned on everybody. What's his name? No, not Father. I'm talking about the black hair. Like that's around the point.
Oh, Kimley.
Him, yes. The dude that he was in the gang, and he was like talking about all the war shit, and he was like, yeah, man, you gotta remember every life you take in this bitch, because they gonna remember you. And then instantly after that, nigga got the Philosopher's Stone, started acting up. So that's where I'm at.
I feel like you're gonna love Kimley as a villain because he stays true to himself the whole time. He judges. Kimley's kind of like Stain, where he has his principle, and it doesn't matter if you're on his side or if you're against him. If
The last thing I'm about to say, last thing I think I seen was him fighting Scar on that train, and then it
great
ended
fight.
up with, like, you know what I'm saying, the train breaking apart and everything. But that's the last thing I want to say.
Wait till the end, and I want to talk to you about Kimley's character and see if you like him as a villain, because he feels a way. If you, whatever you believe in, you have to go for it 100%. If you don't give it your all, no matter if it's good or evil, he hates you, and he like, nah, that becomes a very important plot point. I'm glad you're watching it. I'm glad you're digging
it's starting
it.
to get to the point to me where I'm like, okay, I see why a lot of people have it in their top 10.
It's onions.
It's not 5 yet, but once I get to the end, I'm pretty sure it'll be crawling around that area. It's just a lot of these, like, see, Attack on Titan to me is amazing because of the story, and it does have a lot of politics in it, but it doesn't necessarily feel political.
This is 100% political. Like,
and see, this reminds me of like more of like a Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, and I did love that growing up at the same time, but it's hard to get back into. You know what I'm saying? Because
and see, where I connect with this, I didn't connect with Mobile Suit Gundam. This, low key, the way I look at it is, Roy Mustang in his country is Germany. The Ishvalans are the Jews.
Damn.
It's literally like the Fuhrer. Like King Bradley's name is the Fuhrer. Like it's 100%. They represent Germany, and the Ishvalans represent the Jews, and how they tried to get rid of them and all that stuff. That
whole thing was fucked up. How they were going to war and they didn't even really know what was going on at the same time.
Mustang just burning people with them snaps, bro. That's why Hawkeye don't like him doing that shit. Yeah, no, it's super sad. And then when you lose your boy Maze Hughes, rest in peace, Maze Hughes.
Yeah, rest in peace, Hughes, bro. And then all the backstory with Hughes, it hit home. You know what I'm saying?
And now you understand with the dog. Rest in peace to that little girl, the worst father.
That shit was wild.
Shout Tucker.
Back, though. I saw that before I took the break. I saw that and I was like, damn, this nigga is a scumbag. Son. Like, this is scummy shit. I see why it's not even fair to put him in the meme with the worst dads and include like Goku and Jing. He's always number one.
Yeah, you definitely. Okay, where you at in One Piece? Just to give people an update. Because I know your girl passed Fishman.
No, my girl, I want to say she is past Fishman, but that's still where I'm at. I'm still reading the manga at the beginning of Fishman, but I'm watching the anime at the same time. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm doing that super, super, super slow. When my girl passed me up, I was like, shit, bro.
All right, well, I can't be mad. At least you're on Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. When you finish that,
I'm gonna get back to it. It's just like I'm gonna finish Full Metal Alchemist, then finish Bleach. I'm close to finishing Bleach too. I'm just getting caught up with everything that I felt like I could knock out quick. Cause like I ain't gonna lie, Bleach, I knocked that out quicker than I thought I was gonna knock it out. But most of that show is filler. Like Bleach got boot, and the filler is painful.
That's my thing. And I feel like once you finish Full Metal and Bleach and you read One Piece, you're gonna power through that, because that's like, to me, and this is something I saw on the timeline, and I want to have this conversation when you get caught up, because people are saying that pre-time skip is better than post, and I'm like, what the hell?
Post-time skip, pre-time skip. Like, to me, pre-time skip has so much heart. So post-time skip has a lot to live up to.
See, okay, I will say pre-time skip is more focused on the Straw Hats and their relationships. Post-time skip, you understand the relationships. It's time to go into the world and world build and meet new characters and see how get Luffy to become the Pirate King. You can't just keep doing these little adventures with Usopp and fucking Chopper, going to different islands, like, to me, that's what pre-time skip hurt for me. It's like, yes, it made me love the characters, but my favorite arcs are like Water 7, Innie's Lobby, where we get to see them actually go out in the world and accomplish it. Like, I get adventuring is cool, and that's a part of this thing because they're pirates, they're adventurers, but like, I want to get to the shits, and that's what post-time skip is just straight, we're to the shits, and like, it's no more fun in games. Like, Usopp and Luffy can't just be on the ship goofing off. Like, it's time to get serious.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. They did build up the crew to, like, you haven't really seen new members or anything in the like post-time skip. You see his gang.
Well, they got one, but you know who it is.
Yeah, low key.
Yeah, they got one, but he's supposed to be in there.
And at the same time, you feel me? They basically built it up for, like, you know how whenever you get to the end of Naruto, you get to the pain arc, and when he gets that W, it means so much for the entire show. Whenever you have those kind of moments without the buildup, it doesn't feel as rewarding.
Yeah,
so
facts.
all that buildup, you get to know these characters, you fall in love with these characters, you fall in love with the story.
Oh, it's worth it 100%. Like, I'm glad that it happened, but I'm just saying to the people that's like, oh, we can't get back to pre-time. No, bro, we fighting Yonkos. We fighting the Emperors of the Sea. What do I have to be with Usopp and Chopper clowning around on the ship? We don't have time for that. Before Kaido sent us Kaido come and smash our ship for niggas clowning. Like, we don't have no more time. Zoro, and like, that's the thing. You took 2 years off to train. You took 2 years off because you weren't strong enough. And all the clowning had to stop. Like, now it's time to stop clowning. That's why I fuck with post time skip so much, because it's like, it's serious.
I'm probably gonna try to reread some this weekend. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm freeing up some space for the weekend. But as far as reading manga, like I've been reading a lot lately, and that's when I was getting back into One Piece. Like my girl had passed me up, and I was watching her watch it, and I was like, I can't watch this because I'm not here yet. I'm like, I feel bad even watching this episode. So I'm like, you gonna watch that? I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna read it. So I was reading it, and I was getting through it pretty fast. So hopefully I can knock out more of it reading. I've knocked out a few chapters, but I just started the arc from the beginning in the manga. I feel like I knock it out quicker than watching it.
And then once you get to meet Law and Punk Hazard, it's over. Speaking of manga, there's a new one that came out on Shonen Jump called Bone Collection. I enjoyed it. It seems very bleachy, Shinigami, like Demon Hunter type deal. So we're going to have to see. But to cancel Samurai 8 for this, and if this ain't hitting, then I'm going to just be upset, because Samurai 8 was something different, whereas Bone Collection is just a whole nother Shinigami Exorcist manga, and I'm sick of them things.
But this is more like some ecchi shit, though, right? Like I remember I read it, and it was like wasn't it low key? Not low key, not 100% ecchi, but it's like some chick, like wasn't a chick involved, and the dude's like on some like it was like they're fusing some shit. Like
the chick comes out of the sky, but it's not. It was a little ecchi, but like not more than like normal.
I want to say it's more like it is like some Shinigami shit like that, but it's more like a weird take on it. You know what I'm saying?
Whereas Undead Unlucky to me is more ecchi.
No, that's 100%. Yeah, it's kind of slowed down with it.
Yeah, it got serious.
I ain't gonna lie, the beginning chapters was full of it, but now I'm sitting there like, I'm like, where'd the ecchi go? Not saying I'm like missing it, but I'm saying
it's not as much.
Yeah, they look like they're going somewhere. They sitting there like, damn, nigga, Zip Man just got motherfucking canceled.
We not trying to get canceled.
Yeah, we still out here. Like they must love something, so we got to keep this shit going and make it dope.
Facts, and I definitely love Undead Unluck as well as Jujutsu Kaisen. That's really what I've been reading.
But I'm not gonna lie, when I watched it's been like a week. I only read it when it first came out, and I only read it once. But what was it called? Bone Collection?
Yeah, it came out last week. That was the new thing this past, like the last drop.
And I haven't seen it since. Like I haven't read it since. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
they only got one chapter. We didn't get
Did it drop the same day as Demon Slayer?
Yeah, and it dropped just this past Sunday.
I think I read it like right before I read Demon Slayer. I was like, that shit was cool, but I didn't think too much of it. But I did like it. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't blown away by it. It might not be anything. I was blown away by Undead Unluck.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I've liked other things that they cut. Like, I like Zip Man more than this. I like Samurai 8 more than this. I liked Hell Warden. Like, that was my shit, Hell Warden. It seemed like Yu Yu Hakusho, and it's like, if y'all just gonna do a similar thing to like Hell Warden, it's like, bro, you might as well.
Put a lot of I didn't read some of them, but some of them I just didn't fuck to it. Like I didn't really read Act Age or the one about the Spy Family.
People fuck with Act Age, and that's still going. And Spy Family, I actually read that week to week. It is a different show, and I didn't think I would get into this. It's not slice of life, but it's not heavy action. It's more espionage, and I really, really like that manga. I think Spy Family is one of the best new ones. Like it is to keep me hooked on a story with an assassin, a spy, and their daughter, and them pretending to be a family. It got me hooked. Like I like, me, mystery, conspiracy. It has a lot of that in it.
Bro, I be on some like weird random shit. Like if I'm reading manga, like a lot of the times I'm reading some shit, and by the time I'm on like chapter 15, I'm like, what the fuck am I doing here? And why did I even do this? It's like I get so burnt out on watching this shit because like I remember when we started the pod, I had watched a bunch of anime. Like I've watched millions of animes before, but I remember I was sitting there like, damn, I didn't watch Full Metal Alchemist. I didn't watch Bleach. I didn't watch Attack on Titan. I just felt like I was just uncultured for not catching up on the shit everybody's on. So now I feel like I've been catching up on so much stuff that I usually, not saying wouldn't have watched, but my bag in anime is like some throwed off shit.
Mhm.
So at the same time, while I'm catching up on that shit, in between it, I gotta like just
Get on your wild bag. Get on
like,
your
I get
bag.
burnt out. Like I was reading, I've been into the delinquent manga bag. So like the delinquent kid bag. You feel me? So I've been reading some shit called I want to say it's called Kyo. Matter of fact, I had it in the background. It's Kyokara Ori Wa. But it's like these two dudes. One of his dude's head is like spiky like gones, but it's like super tall. And it's just when I read it, I was like, okay, cool. We'll get some Urameshi, you know what I'm saying? Ass niggas, like just
more comedy
in high school. Yeah, mostly comedy, slice of life. It does have action, but I'm sitting there reading it, I'm like, this ain't bad, but it's not what I expected. I'm looking for that bag. There's
you want a delinquent bag? I got you. Holy Land.
And that one came up too when I was searching some shit. I just didn't know what it was.
Bro, seinen, delinquent, just straight up what you want. Delinquent Yusuke Urameshi. Picture Yusuke not being a spirit detective, but just being a thug and keep fighting people. It's like that video game. It's literally the video game you play. He goes into different turfs in a fight.
And bro, it's about. I still be playing that game, son. Like that shit still didn't get old to me, and that shit says a lot. Because even the My Hero game, I was on that bitch super hard, but I had this game before the My Hero game. I don't go back to My Hero game as often as I go back to this one.
Oh, and let me give props to Pirate Warriors 4, the first anime game in a long time that I truly, truly enjoy. One Piece Pirate Warriors is fun as hell. Talk about, and I know it's a bunch of hack and slash, but the way they do it, the story, it just feels like I'm playing One Piece, where World Seeker felt like, oh, let me put the Straw Hats in this video game. No, this feels like I'm in the One Piece world. It feels like I'm doing stuff. And I got to thank you for getting me on that Pirate Warrior vibe, because that game is fun as hell. Yeah, especially the new one, because you get to do all the... 3. See, the new one got all the Wano shit with Kaido, Big Mom, like that. Like, I'm loving it because I'm all the way caught up, and it's like, yes, I get to play this and enjoy the Straw Hat story.
It's pretty fun, though. Like, the gameplay itself, like, it's a fun one. Like you said, it feels like you're in One Piece. You get to beat up all the fucking bad guys and beat the bosses. It just seems like you really just touched down with the group. It
is hard as shit. Like, when you got to fight an admiral, bro, talk about dying. Like, bro,
those missions be long as fuck too. Like, you're not just gonna finish a mission real quick. Like, you got to dedicate a hot little minute to at least knock out a full mission.
Where you at in Pirate Warriors 3? Which arc you in?
I ain't played that one in a while. Like, I've been playing My Hero. I've been going back and forth from the My Hero bag and Ringo Ichigawa.
The bag. One's Justice 2?
Yeah, One's Justice 2.
Is it fun?
I beat it. It's funner than 1. I enjoyed 1.
How's the story mode?
The story mode is better than 1, but it's still the same thing. But the thing is, they expand. When I played One's Justice 1, I wasn't really in the story mode. I was in the missions. And they booted up the missions to something crazy. Like, the missions is the main part about the game. Again, they knew that they fumbled with the story bag and they can't do what they want to do with the story bag. But the story bag was pretty fun this time, more than the last one, because they gave you a villain arc and a hero arc. Like, basically, you beat the game as a hero. I beat the game. I was like, okay, cool. I beat the game. I was like, damn, it took me a little while, but
felt
like
fast.
I remember the final boss. I was like, that shit was hard. It felt like a good end, but I was like, maybe they could have stretched it a little more. But as soon as they rolled the credits and everything, they're like, all right, you beat the hero side. Time to beat the villain side. And I was like, damn, I got a whole other game. I was like, and I love villains.
Yeah.
And I'm like halfway through that right now. Like, the villain bag is fun as hell to play as. To where I want to dabble in the missions, which I have been, because you could customize your characters. It's like some crazy shit going on to where they did it to where at first when I saw it, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna get into this. I feel like the basic ass missions they had last time
was just whack.
Gonna work better.
Yeah.
I feel like it was whack, but I feel like it's gonna work better than this. I feel like this one they was gonna ruin it, but now I'm like, let me see what they're getting into. I just gotta beat the story mode first. But
okay,
that Ringo Ishikawa game, bro, like
that's your way.
I tell you, I don't know if I spoke on it last pod, but I finally beat it.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I was playing it forever, but I got to the end of the game. And when I tell you, if you're looking for just like not saying best crazy story, crazy game, but it's a throw it off story, and it teaches you some shit. And the way you play, I want to say you get different outcomes. So I've been like kind of replaying it, but it's deeper than what you think. Like, you download the game, you think it's just a beat 'em up. It's like a crazy story about this kid and his delinquent friends. And they got a lot of heart. Like, when I got to the end of the game, I felt like I got to the end of anime season. I was like, wow, that's fucked up.
Oh, you definitely got to read Holy Land if that's your shit. Trust me. I
gotta peep it out.
That's the wave. But let's get into the review. Let's start off with what you want to start off with, Gleipnir or Tower of God?
We can start off with Gleipnir.
All right, yeah, let's start off with Gleipnir. Episode 3, Shuichi and Claire begin to search for Claire's missing sister. This episode was wild because we start to search for Claire, and basically it's like that's pretty much the whole episode. We get some characterization of Shuichi's and Claire's relationship, like when they're about to when they're practicing on everything, and Claire was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get naked," and Shuichi's like, "No, you can't get naked up in me. Put a swimsuit on." And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, like Shuichi, let this girl get naked up in you. Like, what's wrong with you, Shuichi?
Yeah, like, come on, man.
Yeah, like you tripping, bro."
Don't be a virgin right now, bro.
And then she hit him with but that's the thing. She told him she was a virgin. I thought that was a good moment. It was of hilarity, bringing them closer. And then like where it really gets real is when they're looking for the sister. They look outside the window and it's like, oh shit, that's her. And then she gets into Shuichi's body, and then they go try to fight her. And then all of a sudden at the end, she rips off Shuichi's head, and we're left thinking, oh damn, is Shuichi dead? What'd you think of episode 3?
Right there, I was like, you can't do this to me. You can't do this to me right now. I was like, you can't. And I had already read, I had read past that part in the manga. So I know what happens a little bit after the episode we left out on, but just seeing the animated, and I hadn't read it in like since 4 episodes ago, you know what I'm saying? Or not 4 episodes, we're on episode 4 or 5. But like, I haven't read it since, we're on 3 right now?
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm saying like as far as that's all out right now.
4 total.
Okay, can I say I haven't read it since like maybe episode 2, before episode 2 drops. I remember I read a lot of it after I watched episode 1, so I don't remember every single detail about what happened afterwards, but I do remember like an outline of what happened. You know what I'm saying? Just seeing it play out animated, it hits hard. Like everything about this anime is hitting hard.
Yeah. Just
like the manga was hitting, but it's hitting harder. Like, and the manga hits super hard. That's why I'm saying the animation, they definitely need some applause for this, because I'm
really enjoying Gleipnir, man, and I hope it doesn't get delayed. I hope it's all done, because this and Tower of God are like, of course, this is in 2019, but to say that we went from Dorohedoro to now Dorohedoro and My Hero to now Tower of God and Gleipnir, 2 unknowns, and they're really taking the torch from My Hero, and they're like, they took the baton and they're still running the marathon and they aren't falling back. Like, these are great shows, and Gleipnir has me in every episode. I gotta know what's going on with Shuichi. I gotta know what's going on with Claire. I gotta know what's going on with everything. So what would you,
like, bro? When I read this chapter that was this episode, the fight, if you want to call it a fight, like the altercation.
Yeah, she was just like shooting a gun.
The altercation like flew by like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not saying they stretched it out in the episode, but they made it seem way more intense and impactful. To me, I just kind of breezed past it in the manga, and I'm sitting there like, that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? I can't believe this shit happened. But at the same time, the anime drove it home. You feel me?
No, I definitely agree with that, because like I read the first 2 chapters of Gleipnir, and I was trying to see if like what you were saying, and the animation, I'm not reading anymore, because it's like I might as well watch it, because it hits totally different.
The only reason why I read it is because the art style was great in the manga compared to episode 1, but by the time I was really just reading for the story, and by the time I got enough story to be like, okay, yeah, this is because I watched episode 1 just randomly. Like I remember when I first seen it, I just didn't think it was gonna be nothing I was gonna be watching. I just cut something on to have it on, and I got into it, and I just read the manga to see if, okay, is this gonna be worth peeping out every week? Mm-hmm. And instantly I was like, sold. I gotta peep this out every single week as soon as it drops. You know what I'm saying? This is the only week, like last week I watched it as soon as it dropped. This week I had to wait a couple of days, because I've been busy the past few days. But at the same time, this one has me anticipating the next episode like Promised Neverland. And I kind of know what's going on in the next episode, but I think that's around the time where I clocked out from reading it. So I'm really, really itching to see where the story goes from there.
Okay, what would you rate episode 3? The story
itself is wild.
1 through 5.
I give this one a solid, I want to say 4.
Yeah, I'm going high with the next one. Yeah, this is a straight 4, solid exposition. We got to meet her sister Elena. We got to see how she's crazy, but not really. But we find out more about this in episode 4. So episode 4, after encountering Elena, Shuichi and Claire are guided to the source of all the mysterious happenings. Claire is like No, Elena says that she did this to Shuichi. Like she wanted to be better. She was upset that Claire was inside of her. We find out that Elena did kill Claire's parents, but we find out Claire's parents were horrible and that Claire asked for Elena to do it. And Elena's like, you were protecting me, but now I'm protecting you because I'm strong enough. But she still doesn't seem like all the way there. Like, I don't know. She might not be evil, but she's definitely not good. They have some weird shit going on with her. She gives Claire this coin and is like, go find this person and he'll be able to help. They end up going to this person. It turns out he's not a human. He's an alien who brought this stuff down. The different coins are different members of his clan. And if they can redeem them, they can transform their bodies into different mutations. But we don't know who did it to Shuichi because he didn't have a coin and he didn't drink the thing. So how did he become this big monster? Also, we find out that he drinks the thing, puts his head back on, and he's able to transform back to a human. But if he tried to transform back while his head was off, he would have died. And also it left a scar around his neck. And he's now accepting the fact that he has to be this gatherer because the alien tells him, you go gather the coins. The more coins you gather, the more power you get and the more I can help you. And you can become this gatherer. But when they start to gather, I'm sure they're going to run into different evil beings. And also I want to know, is this alien neutral? Where the other aliens, are they evil? There's certain things we got to build on. But this episode for me is a 4.5. I really liked episode 4 because we got a lot of explanations, but it was heartfelt as well as, even though we didn't get any action, it felt very tense.
Oh yeah, you definitely got character development in this episode. You definitely got a lot of exposition, and it ended on a great note to me. It ended on a hype note to be like, ooh, yeah.
Now we about to start hunting.
We get into the shits.
Facts.
And just the facts that they let a lot about the coins and everything. That's gonna be real key from here on. You know what I'm saying? We could tell where it's going now. Whereas before we were kind of just like, whoa, crazy roller coaster ride where we just.
I didn't think he was gonna be an alien. I thought he was gonna be a demon or some shit.
Yeah, for sure. This is the first show where I really see an alien get treated like this. Like, this is an alien and he's just in a human form.
And that's why I like it so much, because it's different. I'm tired of Shinigami. I'm tired of demons. I'm tired of that shit. And this is an alien. It's super dope. And when he transformed into Claire and started touching himself, I was like, this nigga is wild.
And he seems like a dope character. I'm not gonna lie. In the manga, he was way funnier. That's what killed me. Like, in the manga, I was crying laughing. I was like, this nigga is ridiculous, bro. I thought he was gonna be more of a goofy character. Whereas he did have those etchy, goofy moments in the anime, but he seems to be more like composed, and he seems to be like kind of a badass kind of character. He's gonna be the kind of guy that you see, and he's kind of mysterious, got some mystery about him. You know
he gave me kind of Urahara vibes. Like, he gave me kind of like not Kisuke later when he's in the fake Kurakara town arc. No, I'm talking about like Kisuke when you first meet him and he's doing all this weird shit, and it's like, what you got behind your back? Yeah, just what you got behind your back, Urahara. So he definitely gives me those vibes. What would you rate this episode?
I give this one a 4.5, just because to say I was as invested in it as I was, and to say I had already read the source material, I was super into this episode with no action, no
That's
fighting.
My thing. It had no fights.
It's just emotion. Like, I like to see growth in my music I listen to and the people I know, especially in the anime I watch, and seeing this chick go from being, and you can tell she's definitely got some issues, some mental health issues going on, some psychotic issues going on, but she seems like a good character at heart. And
it showed that she ride or die for Shuichi because she was about to shoot herself.
And see, she didn't give a fuck about Shuichi at all, episode 1. And you slowly started to see her, and it went from slowly to kind of quickly, like the way she picked up, and now she's here fast enough.
But it makes sense because the way she said it, she was like, I had nothing to live for before you. I was literally going to kill myself, and you gave me a purpose in my life again. So I get why it's a complete 180, because it's like, you made me want to live. So it's like, if I don't have you, then I might as well die, you know?
And then they're progressing together, like unfolding mysteries about what's going on. And she was curious about that shit. She just couldn't do it on her own.
Yep.
And then at the same time, she's been inside of him, pause, you know what I'm saying? And she's definitely,
bro, they make that a lot of like sex. Like, they're definitely like, oh, like, I'm not gonna say they going overboard with it, but it's like, y'all really want us to know this is the reverse of sex. Like,
that's the etchy part of the show. But at the same time, it's it's into the story. Like that's what I don't know if we talked about this last episode, but that's why I didn't like Tamaki from Fire Force, because you go from like serious to goofy with the ecchi, and the ecchi takes you out of the experience. With this, the ecchi just it adds to the experience, because now I'm looking at it like, okay, this is their way of putting the ecchi in there, but at the same time, she's bonding with him doing that. Like that's a whole separate bond to where, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true.
She fucks with him on like multiple different levels. They got like
they understand each other, like
exactly,
to the chemistry level of themselves.
Yeah, because like she said, whenever she was in there, she was like, "Dude, I could feel that you're tense. I could feel that you're scared. Calm down. I could understand that what you're worried about." You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm in your brain.
Like when she was about to shoot her sister, Shuichi stopped him because he felt the tears coming down her eye. Mm-hmm. He felt that like she tried to hide all her emotions, and then they just started to come out. And he was like, "Oh, you don't want to do this."
I'm loving to see how this is playing out. Like this is a crazy emotional story. It's a crazy action-packed story. It's a crazy mystery. It's just hitting a lot of checkpoints that I didn't expect it to hit on episode 1. Like I saw episode 1, it was just like, where is this going? And it's going a lot of places fast, and it doesn't seem to be letting off on the gas. I'm really excited for the rest of the season.
Yeah, and I'm glad we're going along for the ride. Let's jump to Tower of God, episode 4, The Green April. So at the end of the first round of the crown game, Anak, wielder of the ever-changing sword, the Green April, sits upon the throne. Bam, Coon, and Rack have to wait for the right moment to participate. Will they survive until the end of this bonus game? I really like this episode because we got to expand on a different team. We got to see Anak and like how badass she is, but we also get to see your boy. I got to pull up his name because he has a different name in the show than in the manga. But we get to see your boy with the tracksuit being a baller. So it was like, okay, he fighting, he getting his stuff in. And we get to see the other sword dude. This episode was basically just their team trying to take the crown. And then at the end, Bam, sword starts freaking out. And Anak drops the crown. She walks off this throne and she's like, yo, give me this sword. And then Lero Rose like, y'all are disqualified. She was like, I don't care. I need that sword. And he was like, I'm not giving it to you. And she was like, why don't we make a bet for it? And Lara Rose was like, all right, I can let this go as long as y'all keep letting the crown game. And she makes a bet with Bam that if he wins, he'll keep the sword. If they lose, she has to give him the sword. And it's the Prince of Jihad, or it's the King of Jihad's sword. And she was like, I need that. So we're going to see what's up with all that. But what'd you think of this episode 4, The Green April, and seeing the badassery of this team? We got, like I said, we got Anak. Hold on, I'm about to get the other names, everybody, because they have different names in the manga. We got Anak, we got Hots, and then we have Shibisu. Shibisu's your homie with the tracksuit.
Yeah, the funny one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude is hilarious, bro. I love
He was kicking ass, though, in this episode. He was beating that girl ass who he was battling with. She didn't want no smoke.
He's not useless, you know what I'm saying? He's not a useless character so far, you feel me?
Felt very Kuwabara-esque in this episode.
For sure. And I definitely love him. And I was getting Kuwabara vibes, but I was getting a little bit, I feel like they're going to utilize him in this as a side character in this anime a little bit more. I love the way they're treating their side characters. They're opening up a lot of character just stories. Like they're giving you a bunch of different people, you know what I'm saying? And yeah. You could tell they're all going to play key parts in the game from here forward. You can tell who's kind of going to last and who's kind of going to not last.
Facts. Anything else you thought about this episode?
Because I really did like the Anak shit, like the shit with the swords.
Yeah, and how she was just kicking ass with people with her green thing.
No, I'm talking about whenever she went try to.
Oh, when she tried to get Bam. Yeah.
She was sitting there like, give me that fucking sword. And he was like, nah, you can't have the sword. She's like, all right, let's make a bet. And she was like, I really don't care if you was gonna take the bet or not. She's like, if you didn't take the bet, I was just gonna kill you and take the sword regardless. She's like, I did the bet so we could do this amicably because I don't want to just kill you and take the sword, but I will. I'm not above it.
Also, this opens up questions because we know the person that gave Bam the sword, Yuri, was a jihad. Anak's a jihad. So how many princesses do they have with all these different weapons? What does it mean to be a princess of jihad? Like there's so many questions.
I just let you know that it means something big. Like she's sitting there like, nigga, this is not no fucking joke. You
you're not supposed to have this
sword.
Yeah,
I will kill you and take this sword from you, nigga. Like it's that serious here.
So we're going to have to see what's up with that. But they ended up losing. They ended up getting disqualified in the next episode. Episode 5 is when Bam, Rack, and Coon take center stage to play the game. But what would you rate episode 4? I'm giving this a solid 4.5.
Yeah, I'm going to give this one a 4.5 too, just because of how it was intense. I like I like the whole episode front to back.
No, I agree.
And
100%.
didn't we see the beginning of what happens in the next episode? Like whenever what's his name? Not Bam or Rack. I forget his name.
Oh, Cool start doing shit?
Yeah, whenever he did the shit with the crown and put the crown in his bag and then threw the crown out, because that's what the episode kind of ended on. It was like he's like faked him out with the fucked up crown. He's like, he put the crown in his bag, he took the fake crown out and threw it out.
Oh, yeah.
And that didn't unfold until the next episode, but it happened in that episode. And they were like, what the hell did he just do?
You're right, and I think that starts to show Coon's smarts, and we'll get to another moment. Let me just read what happens in this episode. Bam's team defends the crown from the looming regulars as they charge into battle one after another. Bam is distracted by the lone girls. The regular attacks Bam, but something happens. But yeah, back to your point about Coon, we see him having such great strategy. Not only does the crown thing happen, but when the next round comes, three teams start to happen. He's like, bro, chill out. He puts his hair in a thing. He's like, I'm about to take a nap. And then all of a sudden, they're like, let's form an alliance, these other two teams. And then the third one just starts whooping everybody's ass, starts knocking them out, and then they just veto themselves out of it because that was Coon's plan. Before he teamed up with Rack and Bam, he ends up putting these people in his bag. We find out that his bag can store a multitude of things as well as copy things. This bag is a magic bag, and he kept these people in the bag, and that's why the teacher was like, oh, your bag's kind of heavy. Also makes sense why his bag didn't want to go through the Shueishu or the river wall when Lero had it. You remember when he was stuck? Mm-hmm. And he was like, you don't trust Coon, but it was because he had them people in his bag. So we get to find out some of that. We also get to see how Coon fights with his knives but that's a little bit later. But after they win the first round, it's time for the next one. We see the hooded people come out, and we see these other two dudes, one with two swords that Coon has to fight, and then one that Rack has to fight with this staff-like thing. And then all of a sudden, Rack changes to this other dude to use his hands, and then we see this girl. We don't get her name, but it seems like she's important because she talks to Anak. I wouldn't be surprised if she's a princess of Jihad, and she starts whooping up on that girl with the pole, and then we just see all these different fighting styles. I really like seeing Coon with all them different knives, throwing them up in the air. He gave me Killua vibes like nobody's business. Like, just he a straight-up assassin.
For sure. I like the girl with the pole too, because she pulled up and gave everybody smoke for like a hot minute. I was like, whoa, when did she even get here?
But I don't know if she's gonna be important because it seemed like she died.
Yeah, at the end, but I ain't gonna lie. Whenever she pulled up, it came. She hit hard. Whenever she pulled
she definitely
up,
did. And then
definitely with the whole Rachel shit was thrown off.
That's what I was about to get to. So while they all fighting, Bam is like, yo, is that Rachel? Is that Rachel? He keep asking. Girl with the pole break through, and then she's about to hit Rachel. Of course, I gotta say, Bam is a simp right now. And I know people on Twitter is like, don't call Bam a simp. Bam should have been focused on climbing the tower, but I guess that's the whole reason why he's in the tower, to protect Rachel. So maybe he's not a simp, but he dives in. She doesn't. He gets hit to the head, and all of a sudden, boom! His power just starts exploding. And Lero later in the episode says that wasn't him projecting. I think it's Shueisha or whatever the power is called. That was him becoming the power, destroying Pole Girl, and then his sword's like, whoa, we gotta stop this. She stops it, and then like puts him to sleep so he could wake up later, be fully healed and whatnot. We find out that is Rachel, and Rachel's like, yo, I got to tell you something, Coon, before Bam wakes up. She's probably going to tell him, like, don't worry about me. And also we see Anak has the Black March, so she now has Bam's sword. I wonder how that's going to go. But we also find out that the other princess of Jihad is very close to getting to Bam, so he might end up getting that sword back because Yuri's going to probably get it back for his ass.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like with this whole Rachel situation, Bam is definitely a simp. Because first of all, I don't know the ins and outs of the relationship yet. I hope to get more of that. Well,
he said they're not dating. He said like she's like his mom, his caretaker, or like his big sister.
The way he made it sound like owner, like he was a slave. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right.
I want to know exactly what's going on with them too, because it's still kind of open-ended. It could be some he got a crush on her shit. It could be like some big sister kind of shit. It could be some like slave kind of shit. It could be some you never know, because they haven't really they kind of teased a little bit, but they didn't really tell us much.
Not a lot.
I want to know more about their relationship
and why she being all sketchy.
She's super sketchy.
She didn't even want to talk to him.
That's what makes me want to really know about the relationship. Because I want to know what the fuck makes him, because
he's an irregular. Like, he different than all of them.
I was at the edge of my seat the whole episode after she was introduced, because I'm sitting there like looking at him like he's a liability. At this point, I'm like, this nigga's gonna lose the crown every second. Remember whenever Homeboy came stand in front of him? Before Homeboy came stand in front of him, I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna blow it all. He's ready to risk it all. Son, stay calm, cool, and collective, and just play the situation and see what happens. And he kind of did, but you could tell
he was too focused on he was too simping. Also, I want to know how he goes from long hair Bam to now he just short hair. How did like all of this happen with him? Like, what's his deal? I can't wait to see the mystery of Bam unfold. But right now, also I gotta say, Rack kind of let me down. He ain't whip ass like I thought he was gonna whip ass with that. He
whipped ass at the beginning, but like he was a failure. He was after that.
The big winner of this episode to me was Coon. It was Coon and the girl with the pole who died, and the other girl who fought her, who heel broke. I'm 100% sure she's a princess of Jihad too. She was just ass.
Just how smart Coon was for even getting them 3 dudes in his bag, using them to his advantage, using the ponytail thing to kind of speak to people. He just had plans set up before anybody even knew what was going on. He just had backup plan A, backup plan B,
very Sasuke Killua-esque. I'm definitely, and then Lara Rowe keeps giving me Hisoka vibes every time he come on the page.
Man, he what's his name? Coon is kind of giving me Inosuke vibes too, with that whole, because like whenever he put his little hair in a ponytail, I'm like, so this dude look like a girl, bro. And you can tell he looked like he's one of those hard ass characters, but he's very feminine looking. He's
also giving me Kurama fused with Hiei vibes, because he has a lot of Hiei to him, but he has the smarts of Kurama. So,
and low-key the looks, because like Kurama had one of them feminine looks too. Like this dude, he definitely is that badass character packaged as that Kurama kind of suave looking character. You know what I'm
debonair for the ladies to be crushing on. But I'm giving this episode a 4.7. This episode was great.
Yeah,
I don't want to give it a 5 yet, but like it's 4.7, 4.8. It was great. Shout out to Tower
nonstop. Like it was nonstop fighting, and it felt like a little mini movie I was watching, bro. Like so much shit happened.
This show does feel like I'm watching little mini movies. Like I like that about this show. It feels very cinematic.
Mm-hmm. This is definitely one of those stories that I'm glad I'm ingesting, no matter whether it be manga or anime. This is one of the ones that's like it's sticking with me already.
Facts, and I'm definitely loving it. All right, spoiler alert. If you are still here, please leave. You can follow Chrissa at Chrissa SJE. Follow me at LynBWT. Thank you, everybody, for listening. But if you are sticking around, we are talking about Demon Slayer in 3, 2, 1. Please leave, because it's time.
Talk about the manga, baby.
We're talking about Demon Slayer manga, yes.
I mean, what's the newest chapter? You have to be caught up to the newest chapter.
What just came out on Sunday. Like,
yeah, literally. Like, if you didn't see the one that just dropped, like.
Chapter, I'm going to tell you, chapter 203.
203.
Chrissa, all right, wait. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, leave. What you got to say now? This is some bullshit.
You want to hit him with the news? You want to tell him what the
it's about to end. Like, it's over.
They said it's ending this month. They say
in May. How much more are we going to drag it? Bro, it better end, because we don't get a new episode. We don't get one this upcoming Sunday because they off. It better end that following Sunday.
I mean, there's no way it can't. There's no way it can't. I didn't expect it to end this fast and end like this. But she did say, not to cape for her and give her an excuse, but apparently her family's dealing with some kind of coronavirus issue or some shit like that. She said, "Fuck this shit, nigga. I'm done." Like, she said, "I'm going to deal with that." Does that hurt? But you could already tell she was
done before.
Shit in a weird way before that. And I was sitting there like, what is that about? All I could hope for is that she comes back later on and does a rewrite. You only see this kind of shit with anime. You only see like Full Metal Alchemist get adapted. Then you see Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood get adapted.
But see, the difference is though with that, they made the anime while the manga was still being done. Like,
yeah, that's the same thing with Soul Eater too. Like they wrapped it up too early, and
I don't think we get a rewrite with this one. This is it.
I hope we get a rewrite.
You hoping for that?
But see, the thing is, I was watching Forever World talk about it too, and his main concern was it would be so dumb financially to let that shit go. Like, because Demon Slayer is one of the biggest bags Shonen Jump has had in a little while. Like, no matter. You know Shonen Jump cracks that whip. They sitting there like, bitch, you better bring in some more fucking money. Like, that's all they care about at the end of the day.
At this point, It has to be finished because I don't. If you bring in a new demon, you're ass pulling and you're just trying to get my money.
No, but the thing is, it's done. Like they said, it's done. But at the end of the day, what I'm saying is the best I could hope for is that in the future, whenever she gets this situation handled, she comes back and is like, let me salvage that situation. Because my biggest hope for Soul Eater is that we get another anime where they actually do a faithful adaptation to the manga. But with this, the source material is the manga. It would be so weird to just be like, oh, this is where I started to not care anymore. Let me go back here. And then, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, that you
weird.
let me just say my guy got his cape on for her and he trying to get to redeem this. Bro,
she wasn't gonna wrap it up as fast as it seems like she planned. Like
this shit is over. Like let's call it.
It's over. It's over as far as like Demon Slayer. This is especially.
But like I wouldn't even accept a rewrite at this point because it's like you made me read all of this and like we just said. I understand the most recent shit because of Corona, but this arc looked like it's been going downhill for a while now since we got to this Muzan fight. And
I don't know. I feel like since we got to the final Muzan fight, it's been, but that Corona stuff's been around since the turn. I remember when we first started talking about is this shit getting weak sauce. And I remember it was like, it wasn't knee deep into it, but it had to have been in February or March. You know what I'm saying?
But when we don't know when they got, I'm not using that excuse.
See, I like the Muzan arc before, like whenever we're still fighting with the pillars, like the pillars are still fighting Muzan. Like that shit was kind of hard. It was getting kind of overly drawn out and stretched out, but I felt like something more was coming. So to see that this just get wrapped up like this,
Muzan was one of the worst manga villains now, bro. He's one of the worst. Can we say it?
I don't want to say one of the worst. You know what
I'm saying? My nigga was looking at Tanjiro. Tanjiro, don't let me go. Don't let me go. Nigga, shut up.
He was snaking him at first. Like he was snaking him. He was sitting there like, man, fuck them niggas. You don't gotta help the pillars, yada yada. He was just
bitch.
He was basically just being a snake. But the thing is, he's the villain. That's what he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Like to me, whenever Light Yagami at the end of Death Note, like he started crying like a little bitch, you feel me? That don't make Light Yagami not Light Yagami. He just came to an ugly demise. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but
this
still moves on. It's just the end. Like ever since he turned into a big giant man baby, nothing was the same. You feel me? But
even a little bit before, like I don't know, man. I feel like the conclusion of this left me desiring more, and what was led up to believe with the train arc, with the Uzui arc. It felt like this villain felt more calculated, felt smarter than he was. Didn't feel like he was just this dude that's going to just rush in and let Tamio poison him and then just keep getting it like slowly decaying and then don't realize that Tamio poisoned him and then she and this lady demon who he abused ends up getting the last laugh. Like it just feels like she made him dumb at the end just to make it work.
Yeah, you definitely see a sharp decline. But to me, it is super sharp. And we were talking about this kind of earlier on in the week. We were talking about how from Demon 1 to Upper Moon 1 to showing all the Upper Moons and, you know what I'm saying? Just as the demons unrolled, they got less and less appealing and is weaker and weaker sauce. But it wasn't like until you get to the end, do you have that spike. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even the weakest demon, the ones that I liked the least, it was still an entertaining arc. It still kept me there. I
don't think because the ending is trash, you should not read. I 100% am happy that I read Demon Slayer and I love the Rengoku arc, the Tengen Uzui arc. Those are two of some of my favorite arcs in manga. I was hooked to my chair reading that every week. The Mist arc, it drops a little bit in quality. But then it kind of picks back up with the Pillar Training. But the moment the Pillar Training arc ends, it's like, ooh, we back into the shaky waters.
As soon as we get into the whole last Muzan fight, I'm not gonna lie, I liked it because right after that's whenever you get the whole Inosuke fight with the pretty ass demon, you know what I'm saying? The one that tied into his backstory with his mom and the whole thing with what's her name, Kanao.
Yeah.
With her, that whole arc was dope, and that happened right after the first Muzan fight. It was like Giyu, Tomioka, and Tanjiro. They were both fighting Akaza, I want to say, and after they fought Akaza, then they was fighting Muzan, right? But it was like the start of them fighting Muzan, and then Tanjiro got his ass washed, and then all the pillars started trying to fight Muzan. To me, that was dope. whenever all the pillars started trying to fight Muzan, that's when they started stretching it out a little too much. And I was like, what are y'all doing here? And then after that, to me, that's whenever nothing was the same. Like after they started stretching that pillars versus Muzan fight a little too long.
And then they started getting into the backstory of Tanjiro's descendants. And
I didn't really even care about that backstory.
That's what I'm saying,
that backstory was waste of space for me right there.
To me, I think I stopped caring when they killed the leader. When Muzan killed the leader of the Demon Slayers, I think that was when I was the beginning stages of checking out.
You talking about the rock dude that was crying?
No. The dude who was like, you remember his kids replaced him as like a facilitator?
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like, I think that was the last super badass. Like that was Muzan being calculated, and then we see a guy smarter than him. Like, but then Muzan still had a backup plan for his thing. Like that was the last time I saw the Muzan villain that I was introduced to in chapter 1, where when somebody walked by him, he just prick him on the neck and he kept going.
And see, that's when you get the Kaguya effect, to where you're like, what the fuck? And to me, after that, I'm not gonna lie, it does get bad. To me, it's not like
Kaguya levels bad, no, but it
not
is
the worst it could possibly be, but it is bad. It is super bad. You know what I'm saying? Like
it starts off at rushed. It starts off A+, 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 Tengen A+, Miss B+, 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 B, C, C-. And I think this last little arc finished with C-. I'm not gonna give it a D or an F.
It could be. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it could be considered a D. With all things taken in consideration, I'll give it a C+, a C-. But I'm not gonna lie, it could be a D at certain moments. Aspects.
Yeah, no, and also the fact that Tanjiro's fully healthy now, like.
Yeah, I feel like everything from now on is just an ass pull. I feel like she wasn't supposed to wrap it up this fast, because think about Promised Neverland, and whenever we got announced that, hey, Promised Neverland is going to be wrapping up soon, that was like a year and a half ago, and it's still
going. Yeah, it's still
going. This shit is like, nigga, I'm stopping right now, and it's ugly. It is the ugliest crash and burn. That's why I'm hoping in the future she can be like, look, I had to stop, but in my personal opinion, if it was going to go that way, I would rather have just stopped and we go on a Demon Slayer hiatus. I would have hoped. I would have wanted her to just like, look, take as much time as you need. If it doesn't come back, Hunter's never going to come back. I can live with that.
That point to me is why I think her family with the corona stuff happened later in this. Like, that's why I don't think it was at the start of this arc. I think it happened like while she's telling the Tanjiro backstory, because when she starts telling the descendant backstory, that's when shit's just like speeding up crazy fast, and it's like, but you was already on a downhill slope, so it's like.
The thing with me is, it's something going on with her, the author, because it's not Shonen Jump. I'm pretty sure Shonen Jump is like, bruh, let's keep it going. But she's sitting there like, nah. She's like, I'm done.
It's over with.
It's not her sitting there like, man, this shit's whack. I don't have any more ideas. You could tell she kind of had an outlook on where she wanted to go, but she did not get there. And it felt like she just.
But that was my thing from the beginning. When Muzan leaves, it's like, there's nowhere else to go. Like he is demons. Like there's no other demons besides him, because he created them.
I feel like she should have stopped and went on a hiatus so she could finish it later. I feel like this is how it was supposed to wrap up with Muzan, but she wasn't supposed to wrap it up like this. She had a different way of drawing out.
I feel like we could have saw the pretty nigga have his own arc.
Yeah, she just rushed through this.
Yeah, it's a damn shame. Like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and say it's Kaguya levels bad, but it is like C- is me being nice. If I really want to get critical, like you said, I could give it a D, but I'm gonna give it a C- ending. But
the thing is, I don't hate it. I do dislike it though. Like I do dislike a lot of aspects of it. When I saw the baby shit, I was like, okay, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't liking it, but I wasn't like sitting there like flipping the computer, because there are certain things that made me like rage quit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't quite there yet, but right now it's kind of getting there. Like the next chapter is gonna be, I'm gonna have a solid, like once I'm finally to the end and I'm finally no more Demon Slayer chapters are dropping, I'm gonna be sitting there like, damn, this is it.
What made me rage was this past week when I saw Tanjiro clear face crying, hugging Nezuko, like, oh, we're both human. Like, I don't even know how Nezuko turned human. Like, do we even know?
There's nothing explained. And I'm hoping she at least tries to salvage it within this last chapter, but what can she do?
Yeah, there's nothing.
If there's 1 to 2 chapters left, what could you possibly do?
I don't want to sit here and get an explanation from someone telling me how Nezuko, like, you had chapters to do that. Like, all of a sudden, Nezuko just had one eye normal, one eye not. How does this, is it because Muzan's dying? We don't know. Is it because of Tamio with that blood shit? We don't know.
We have no clue.
No idea. Like, and that was the whole crux of the show. Like, how can we turn Nezuko back human? And we have no fucking idea. It just, to me, I just don't want to hear. This is where I'm at with it. It's like, if you're fully caught up, then we can have the conversation. But if you're not, I don't want to hear shit about Demon Slayer greater than One Piece. I don't want to hear shit about Demon Slayer greater than My Hero anymore. I don't want to hear none of that until you're fully caught up. That's when we can have that conversation. Because
I feel like everybody that was saying that was already wild. You know what I'm saying? Like people that was like Demon Slayer greater than One Piece. A lot of them was trolling, especially with My Hero too. A lot of them was trolling. Demon Slayer is great. But the people who acted like Demon Slayer was the best thing since sliced bread are the people that kind of like ruined it for the fan base or the fandom. But
they made me salty. And you,
I love Demon Slayer. That's one of my best of 2019. But to me, it's just, they rank it too high. Like
I agree with you, and I loved. I told you that I loved. Like I was like, yo, this is gonna be one of the ones, and I was up on it early. But just that the fan base really. This was the first time that I'm not gonna let this ever happen again. But this was the first time that like I let a fan base really deter me from a show.
Yeah, I haven't gotten there yet. Like the fan base has kind of deterred me from shows at the beginning, and I flip-flopped and got back on it, like with Attack on Titan and Hunter x Hunter. Like Hunter x Hunter is not one of my favorite animes. Same thing with Attack on Titan. But those
Look your shirt.
Yeah, Hunter x Hunter. Like, bro, it was hard for me to get into it or get onto it just because of all the. My favorite anime is Yu Yu Hakusho, and people would use Hunter x Hunter to be like, nah, that's
same trash. Reason why I didn't get into One Piece, because niggas would talk about Naruto, like use One Piece to say, oh, Naruto's whack, and I was a Naruto guy, but look at us, we both wearing the ones that are shit now.
Yeah, for sure. And the thing with me, like Demon Slayer is one of those ones that I really do love and I really do cape for, but I'm not gonna be one of the people that's like, this is better than this is better than this, you know what I'm saying? Demon Slayer, it's super hard, but I feel like it's in its own little lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it is.
With this ending, it's a whole nother conversation, depending on where we end at as far as anime. Because as far as right now, the anime is still great.
Oh, yeah, no. The anime is going to be great for another 3 seasons.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully even 4. Because I feel like we got a lot of shit to cover. Well, maybe 3 seasons with the movie. Because
that's what I'm about to say. Yeah.
And they might do more movies. But this is how I'm looking at it.
Wait, I got a question for you before we get your thought real quick. Mm-hmm. What if, due to what's coming down the pipe, what if everything's a movie from here on out? Would you be upset at that?
Low key, because they executed season 1 so well, and I don't know how they would be able to execute it movie-wise. But you never know. If Ufotable gets their hands on it, they could do it right.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like Ufotable, just like how they do in the train arc, like you'll get a Tengen movie arc where they put big budget in it.
They have to, because if the anime and if the manga's going down the drain right now,
how you make your money back, and that's how you make it back.
Exactly. And the thing is, you have quality content, you got a fan base, you have to feed them. You got a million arcs before we get to not a million. We got at least 4 or 5 arcs before we get to the Muzan arc.
Yeah.
So they could milk that. They could drop them slow, like kind of like, you know how if you know the series is gonna end bad
every 2 years.
That, you know what I'm saying?
Every 2 years we get a new movie. Yeah, you might not like the 2 years thing, but
yeah, I'm not gonna like the 2 years thing at all. But at the same time, you could prolong that manga. You could preserve the quality of what we do have. You know what I'm saying? Before it gets bad. And a lot of reasons why I think Hunter x Hunter could be better is because it doesn't have an ending. But at the same time, it's not trash. I just can't say it's number one.
Look,
it's super cold. Like, imagine Hunter x Hunter gets trashed with this Dark Continent arc. Imagine Tagashi says, "I'm sick of y'all shit. Fuck,
it's over.
I'm done." And he gives it the worst ending, because he didn't give Yu Yu Hakusho the worst ending, but you could tell he sped through that. He was like, on to the next. What if like he's on to the next thing in life and he just like fuck Hunter x Hunter, wraps it up whack? That's gonna ruin how I feel about Hunter x Hunter as a show. Like One Punch Man season 2 ruined how we feel about it as a show.
And that's why I'm glad
we got more great.
That's why I'm glad, like you said, it took a hiatus. That's what can potentially save Hunter x Hunter, because Like like you saying, Tagashi went through Yu Yu Hakusho. He kind of sped it. Maybe at the point in time when he was sick, he was getting tired of it, but he didn't want to end Hunter x Hunter like that. And he was just like, I'm gonna take a break until I can get my spirits back up. Like you said, I would have wished she would have did that. That would have been much better.
She already fucked it up with that, but the anime could save it by like taking forever to get to that arc.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And to your point, they could add some stuff in the anime, make it like get her notes and maybe change a couple things in the Muzan thing that could possibly save it to where instead of
that's true
Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, we get the reverse where it's like Demon Slayer manga. Don't read it, but the anime, she added some stuff to it that is supposed to be.
It would be dope to be like read it up until this point. Because I would love to have the anime still adapt a lot of the same shit up until a certain point. But up until a certain point, hopefully she's at like whenever they start animating it, hopefully she's at a point where she could be like, all right, look, let's scratch this. And she's become more of a creative director as far as the writing process. I
that would make me change a little bit of my stance. It would
we got years, bro. We got years for that to happen.
It would still make me upset that I read all of this, but I would be more happy if that happened to where I can champion it again. Because at this point, I can't champion this ending. I cannot.
And see, the thing with me, the only thing that's making me feel bad for her a little bit is because I'm imagining Toriyama, whenever he was doing the Cell Games arc, he was like, this is the end. He was like, after the Cell saga, the last Dragon Ball arc is going to end with Goku passing the torch to Gohan. Yep. And if I ever do choose to come back to Dragon Ball in the future, I'm going to make it more a Gohan-centric show. And Shonen Jump, Shueisha was like, no, you're not. You're giving us another arc. We need another arc, and it need to be long. Be like, why? So I'm wrapping it up. You could tell I'm wrapping it up. Restart it. Bring Goku back to life. I don't care. I really don't care. Give him another son. Who cares? We need another arc. Boo, give us something. You know what I'm saying? And Toriyama was burnt out by the time he got to the end of Dragon Ball to where he ended it. He was like, ooh, Goku's going to do this with Oob. Y'all can have it. Do GT. He basically just didn't give a fuck anymore.
Facts.
And now, like 10, 15 years later, he's like, man, let me
do some super,
about Oob and all the shit because he ended Z on a canon note of.
That's true. She can redo it in like 10, 15 years.
But basically what I'm saying to that note is why I feel bad about her, what I feel sorry for is that I can imagine Shonen Jump's cracking that whip, especially that the sales are doing so good. They're seeing that Demon Slayer is they're even in the same pool as One Piece sales. They sitting there probably on her ass.
And you want to know what's funny?
I'm done.
I know they said that they delayed the release of the new volume, which starts the Muzan shit because of Corona. But I guarantee if this arc hit like it was supposed to, that shit wasn't getting delayed.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that was a strategic delay.
But see, they probably sitting there trying to tell her, look, bro, you got to do this. And she's probably sitting there done. Like, she's probably sitting there not even worried about restarting the series. She's probably just like, I'm in the series now.
It's done, yeah.
Pressure. Like, I didn't expect for this to be this successful. And because Shonen Jump, when they cracked the whip, son, they cracked the whip. So I could just imagine them looking at them numbers and being like, ooh, we gonna milk this. She's like, whoa, y'all are doing too much. I told y'all I need some time off for this. And they're like, we don't give a fuck about your family. We don't give a fuck about nothing. I'm not saying that Shonen Jump is this big tyrant.
I have a question for you. Because I feel like these two characters got left out post Tengen arc. I feel like and this is one of the things why I say it went a little downhill if we want to dive into it. I feel like Zenitsu and Inosuke post Tengen arc didn't have a story. Like they just got axed. Like it was like not even about them.
Even seeing them talk in this last chapter, I was like,
yeah, it was like,
where y'all come from? Like,
like where y'all been? Like I miss y'all.
Exactly. Like, man, y'all niggas.
Nezuko didn't fight like that. That's how I know it was. Nezuko was just off. We don't know where she was at.
And you could tell she's just throwing this shit away because right now, nothing's getting answered. Like, unless they try to wrap everything up and stuff everything into this last chapter or 2 chapters, and that's not going to work either. But what I'm saying is, unless they do that and give us something to make it like salvageable to where we can at least be like you said, C-. If they do anything worse than that, bro, it's going to look like it's going to be a big strike. And to be fair with me, personally, Demon Slayer didn't have a lot of strikes, so the ending would be the biggest strike. But
it is.
One, I'm not tripping that hard, but I will be tripping a little bit when we get to the anime, and I will. Kind of a lot of people are anime onlys anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But as of right now, I'm just hoping to get salvaged by then in a better way.
Because you know the Twitter it's coming. It is.
The end of this week, and seeing that whole backlash already from the Demon Slayer haters is so annoying. It's like, bruh. They're like, oh, I can't wait for this shit to get acted. Somebody said something about a moonwalk on the grave, but it's like, son, niggas been hating that shit since day one. You know what I'm saying? Niggas been hating that shit in the fan base since day one. Like,
shit.
The thing is, I understand the
niggas said moonwalk on a grave.
Bro, they said that. I remember somebody saying some shit
you
like,
can't downplay the end though, because you know the ends of certain things. Like, for example, if Attack on Titan don't end right, you're gonna be pissed.
Yeah, but the thing is, I always look at it like Naruto didn't end right. And I was a little bit pissed, but Naruto's still in my top 5.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm with you on that.
Stories. Even though it crashed and burned to the point where I can't even look at the Boruto anime. I can't even look at the end of Naruto with the Kaguya movie.
I don't watch that
Not
shit.
Kaguya movie, the Kaguya whole arc. Whenever Kaguya touched down, I don't watch that shit. I turn it off,
yeah.
It's disrespectful.
I literally
even Dragon Ball Super, some aspects of that are disrespectful, but I love it.
I turn off Naruto from the moment Kaguya comes in, and then when she leaves, I turn it back on to see the final Naruto Sasuke fight.
Exactly. Like, it's fuck Kaguya. And I feel like with you, it's like a big fuck Muzan thing and fuck this ending thing for sure. But
yeah, that's where I'm at with it.
I still look at it to where, like, it's salvageable to where if I get 4 seasons of a show or 4 or 5 movies of this iconic show that's just going crazy, and then it ends whack, I'm be like, damn, that's whack. It ended whack. But I got a lot of good from it. You know what I'm saying?
Don't get it twisted. I agree with you on that front where it's like, I want the anime to give me the seasons I want. Like, you understand, you know how much I love Tengen Asui and that arc and everything that leads up. I even love the Miss arc where we see the homie with the different clown eye vase homie with the vase demon or whatever. I love all that shit. But I just feel like from an objective standpoint, if we're going to talk level, and I think I can give Naruto some cape because it's a longer series.
Yeah, it has more iconic moments for sure.
Yeah, they have a lot more moments to where it's like, yeah, that Kage thing was a slip up, but let's not forget we just had Madara fighting all the Kage. Like, we just had all of this shit with Obito. Like, there was a lot of stuff leading up to that before, whereas, I'm trying to think of a series where the ending just doesn't hit well and it's shorter.
But see, and I look at with Naruto too, is that, like, it had a lot of filler. It had a lot of garbage filler. And then, like, it had a lot of good things, but not everything in Naruto is perfect. It's just when it hit hard, and it was a long running, so it had a lot of chance to win. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of greatness, and all the greatness in Naruto overshadows the bad. And that's the only reason why I want to kind of look at Demon Slayer like that.
Well, look, I got one. Soul Eater. I got kind of upset that I watched most of that just for that trash-ass ending.
Yeah, I got a lot of trash-ass ending, but that's the thing. I always suggest Soul Eater. I love Soul Eater because it ends terribly, but it's like one of those Bleach things. Bleach people would always preach watch the Bleach anime. I'm like, nigga, y'all shit got canceled. I'm not watching this shit. And I'm thinking, I was big hard on they're never coming back. You know what I'm saying? And they're coming back. But I'm sitting there looking at it like, if that's where Bleach ends, it's pointless to even watch it.
Yeah.
But I did watch it and I did love it, get some enjoyment from it. And if I would have known that they would have never come up with the anime, or if I wouldn't have known that they were coming back with the anime and I just thought that it was ending at that, I probably would have still been pretty satisfied with Bleach. And it's the same way I'm satisfied with what I've got from Hunter x Hunter. It's not top tier. It can't be number 1 for me, but Hunter x Hunter is still top 5, top 10 just because off of the strength, even though I don't get an ending, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, because that's why
you're getting an ending.
Yeah.
But it's a fucked up ending. And to me, this is its only strike against it. I like everything else. True. That's the only reason why I'm kind of being light on it.
No, I feel you on that because, like you said, I do like everything else, but it's just like I had such high expectations because I remember we did our awards. I made a prediction that Muzan could be bigger than Shigaraki and All for One. Like, I thought Muzan was gonna be and he was Madara Aizen.
He got nerfed bad. He was badass, and now he's just a nobody.
That's the thing. It's like when you build up so much expectation for someone and then just drop the ball like that, is just like, damn.
See, with me, that was Madara. And it hurt even more because Madara's whole length was probably the Demon Slayer, the whole Demon Slayer series entirety. Like, Madara lasted that long in the show and then came out of nowhere and got nerfed. I was like, damn, you get him with the Sage Pass form, like when he's like white Madara and he's like looking crazy. It's like, oh my God, this is about to go, what? What is this?
And then Kage just comes in.
When I get that,
that's crazy.
Like, that letdown fucked me up because you got Madara's touchdown. And it was a good 100 episodes, at least 100 chapters of just Madara.
That's why when Naruto haters are like, but that ending though, I can't ever dispute it. All I can say is, but everything before it's great. That's all I can say.
That's what I be telling people. I be sitting there like, I be looking at the Naruto fans like, bro, you can't let just the ending take away. Because people be like, Naruto is trash. I'm like, I get how you would say that. But is Game of Thrones trash?
Because
season 8 was trash. You know what I'm saying? To most people.
That's tough because I think Game of Thrones isn't trash, but it's not the best TV show of all time. I don't think it can be top 5. I think it's in the top 20 because everything they set up in the show, they don't execute on anything.
Nope.
And like if
the last season fucked it up.
That's my thing. If you set up so much stuff, like what was the point of bringing Jon Snow back to life if you just there's so much stuff that happens in Game of Thrones that's the lead up, and it's like none of that gets put. Like, why the fuck is Bran the king? Like, what do we do? Like, and I don't think Demon Slayer's on that level of bad because I think everything they set up they kind of touched on for the most part. Mm-hmm. Like, I know we sped through the Descendant and the Sun powers, but everything for the most part that they set up, they followed through on. That's why with Naruto, everything Naruto set up, they really followed through on. That's why I can't be mad at it. Whereas like, and that's why I'm not as mad as Demon Slayer. But with Game of Thrones, I think that's totally like if you set things up and don't follow through and just give me something completely different, that's where you get an F.
Like by the time you get to the end of Naruto, you got everything you wanted from Naruto.
Yeah, so you got everything.
They had that freedom. I know. I remember I was watching an Anthony Fantano review on YouTube. He was reviewing Jaden Smith's album, right? Mm-hmm. And this is kind of random, but he was just talking about how Jaden Smith, his album was whack, but he was like, he has potential to do better on the next album because he's not like these Young Jock, and that's just a bad example, just because you see what he is.
You use Young Jock,
but he dropped Young Jock dropped one album. It was a hot album, and he never dropped again. You know what I'm saying? Thanks. The thing is, if these rappers make one miss move, they're getting cut. He was saying, and this is where I'm getting at, like he was saying Jaden Smith has room to fail because Jaden Smith has money to fall back on. He's Will Smith's son. He could drop 10 trash albums, and then his 11th album could be a hit, and it'll still be successful because it's Jaden Smith. He has that room to drop 11 trash albums. Naruto had room to drop a trash arc or two because it gave us the pain arc. It gave us iconic moment after iconic moment.
That's what I'm saying. We saw the village accept Naruto. At that, like, that's why I say if Naruto ends at pain, I'm not mad at it because like
I think that's why people excuse Boruto. It gave us so much good shit. Like I'm not mad at Naruto and his son.
Yeah, no, I can't be, and that's why it's like with this Demon Slayer thing, to your point about her coming back and rewrite on it, I actually don't want to do that. I actually want to see what she does. I'm more inclined to support the mangaka to where it's like, she comes out, I made a mistake, we rushed it too soon, but here's my new idea. I would be more inclined to support her new property than her trying to fix some old, like, let it be. Let Sleeping Dogs lie. Like, I want to see what you got next.
I don't even know if she's going to do something
else next.
The only reason why I'm saying I'm sympathizing with her even a little bit is because I think they're cracking the whip at her and she's done. She's like fed up.
What if she goes to
she didn't take the hiatus? She just took the end. I'm gonna end it route.
What if she goes to Shueisha or she starts doing Seinen? I think honestly, I think Seinen might be a better spot for her.
But still, like she's the highest selling mangaka
of 2019.
Well, yeah, of 2019. So like people are barking up her tree. I feel like it's the work that's killing her. Like the way that whenever it first started, before the anime came about, she was doing things at her own pace.
Yeah. And that's when it was working.
And after that, like the anime went crazy and I felt like it was overwhelming, especially when she has other shit to deal with. And whenever you start being successful, people want more from you. And I feel like she was capable of giving more, but she wasn't anticipating for life to hit.
And that's why we got to give Horikoshi so much props. That's why we got to give Oda so much props. Even Kishimoto, like you said with Naruto, like, yeah, he had a miss, but like when you're successful for so long and you keep dropping bangers, that's tough to do. Like even Horikoshi ain't missed yet. Yeah,
like Toriyama, he wanted to quit, and they forced another arc out of him, and that arc
was still fire. Boo was still fire.
Bro. Everything in the Boo arc was gold. Yeah, like, that was one of the coolest arcs. If niggas would have told me Dragon Ball Z would have ended at fucking Cell Saga, I would be mad. Like, say you go back to the past, like you in the future, you go back to like the past, and you realize when the Boo arc isn't supposed to be out, it's not out, and people are just acting like Dragon Ball Z ended the Cell arc.
That's true.
That would fuck me up.
Low key, I rank it Cell, Boo, and then Frieza, Saiyan. Like Frieza and the Saiyan arcs are third to me.
Yeah, they're not even. A lot of people do like the Saiyan arc more, but I don't. It's cool, but Dragon Ball Z don't get to GOAT Dragon Ball Z until
Goku turns Super Saiyan. Yeah, like
Boo and Frieza.
And like I said, like, where do you rank it? Because I go Cell, Boo, Frieza.
That's the same order. That's the same order for me. I might actually put
Boo first,
Boo and Cell.
I ain't mad at it.
Pretty much the same order. Like Frieza's third and Saiyan Saga is like fourth. But
100.
the thing is, I just know how they crack that whip. I know not everybody's prepared for it. Like how you said, we really do gotta get these other rap.
We gotta give like Oda and especially Horikoshi to be
and
like.
I'm looking at Tagashi too, because he was sick doing this shit, and he did have to hiatus every once in a while. But this nigga is literally like dying. Not knock on wood, but he's like not healthy.
Yeah, he's not healthy,
and he's you know what I'm saying. Cranking out these fucking chapters. I remember he's been talking about he's not healthy. Hunter was been on hiatus, and they were like, Hunter's coming off a hiatus. It's like, man, this nigga is literally telling y'all he's not good enough to do this, but he's still gonna give us a little bit when he can, because he cares that much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now you got me feeling bad I feel bad for the lady now.
But the only thing with her is she didn't stick around. She wasn't trying to get that whip crack. She was like, you know what? Fuck y'all. And I just seen too many people at jobs do that. Like at 9 to 5, just be sitting there like, look, you got to do this. Like you like, imagine you work and you clean some shit. You know what I'm saying? There's you and like 5 other niggas, and you the only one that cleans better than everybody else. Like, you the one that they rely on. They don't want to fire everybody else because that's the only people they can find to work for them, but you the breadwinner. So they stay harder on you because they know you the only one get the job done. It's like her, she getting the money in, so they sitting there like, nah, you got to do this. And she's like, I'm done with this. And they're like, nah, wait a minute now.
It's crazy, like, man.
Firm me up. You already done told me my time is worth nothing to y'all. You know what I'm saying?
And also, she might have that Promised Neverland contract where it's like, when I say it's over, it's over. Because the Promised Neverland's writers was like, look, it's in our stuff. I don't care what y'all look. When this story is done, it's done. I'm not telling nothing else.
Facts. You can't slave us after that. I feel like that's where Shonen Jump fucked up by giving these
new age contracts.
Like, especially right now, they got way too much on their plate. Like, the way that you see these flash in the pan manga come out and be like, oh, look at this. It's about to be the future.
And then they just
canceled.
Now it's just making me think Samurai 8 shouldn't have been canceled. Now I'm hoping
it shouldn't have.
Now I'm hoping that this is the prequel to the Ann. Like, I hope Ann gets a manga and we come back with the Ann Samurai doing the stuff. Like, I hope that's what Kishimoto's plan is.
I don't want it to get misconstrued as hate, because I love Shueisha, I love Shonen Jump. That's like my idols. I love everything they put out. I look at that like the biggest rap label in Japan, but of manga. And
that's Cash Money, Young Money, baby.
But I be looking at them like they Birdman. Like, why would they not be thinking like that? They got these niggas in contracts and shit. I've seen them do it before. They're like the smartest. They're the number one manga company in the world for a reason. You know what I'm saying? They're going up against Kodansha with like Parasite and
So is Dragon Ball Zero. Is Toriyama and Dragon Ball Z Lil Wayne?
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is definitely that's Lil Wayne for sure. That's
now who is Drake? Is Drake Oda in One Piece?
One Piece for sure, because that's same era.
Is Naruto like, Nicki Minaj?
Naruto was probably like fucking Tiger.
Naruto was hot at one point, and then Naruto could be Tiger. Where Tiger was I want to give Bleach Tiger because
Bleach could definitely be.
It's not Tiger making a comeback. That's Bleach. Nicki Minaj is. I don't want to say not Nicki Minaj is Naruto because her new stuff is trash, but that could be Boruto.
And they don't have like Young Money, Cash Money. I feel like whenever they had the Rich Gang thing with Young Thug and My Hero, I mean like Young Thug is My Hero, and Rich Homie would be like Black Clover. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, I thought you were gonna say Rich Homie was Demon Slayer, where Rich Homie's first couple of shits is hot. His ending.
Demon Slayer ain't hitting on shit. I mean, not Demon Slayer. Rich Homie ain't hitting on shit right now. So this nigga new shit. Not to shit on that, but he could be the Demon Slayer because his end was atrocious.
But Gunna is Promised Neverland.
Bruh, I'm saying like when I look at Shonen Jump, bruh, I swear to God, I don't know who the people are. Like when I see like Dragon Ball, I think Toriyama. When I think One Piece, I think Oda. When I think Shonen Jump, I think Birdman. I can't put a face to it, son. I don't know who's doing what. I just know it's a Birdman ass.
I got something for us to do next week. Next week we're gonna put manga and manga artists with the rappers that they represent.
That low-key be fun as hell, bro.
Because Naruto definitely should be like if Oda in One Piece is Drake, then Naruto has to be like Kendrick or J. Cole.
Some shit like that. You know
because they're not Nicki Minaj. We're not doing
comparable. That. The industries are very comparable. Like I look at what's going on in Shonen Jump, and it makes me look at rap labels, and because I do music and everything too. I look at all the schematics behind it. I be thinking of marketing shit and just everything matters. And I see that a lot of that shit crosses over. You know what I'm saying? Because basically you're just pushing a product at the end of the day.
Facts. But this was a great conversation. I'm glad we were honest with this. We talked it through. I wasn't I'm leaving not as negative as I was coming in. And then I saw my brother admit some hard truths. I'm proud of both of us.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not proud of Demon Slayer right now. I'm not happy with the ending. I don't want it to look like I'm happy with the ending, but I'm not as mad as I know a lot of people are right now. A lot of people are like, fuck Demon Slayer burn. Like, remember whenever people were burning Bleach copies?
Yeah, I would never do that. I still got my
that with Demon Slayer.
I don't have him in the shot because I don't think he deserves to be in the shot right now. But I
So
still got the boy.
Out.
I still got the boy Tanjiro. Yeah, he in timeout for sure. He over there not in the scene. We only got the breadwinners in the scene. You see,
I'm waiting on my manga to come in, bro. I ordered so much manga over the quarantine, bro, just to have filling up the collection of reading. But like, I bought the what's her name? Gotage. I don't know how to really say her name, but the Demon Slayer mangaka.
Oh, okay.
And she has another like short story volume of like, it's a one shot, but it's a bunch of one shots in one manga volume, and it's like a just like a random short stories kind of compilation. Mm-hmm. And I'm waiting on that to come in because I'm like, I've been itching to read that forever. I think I've read one of her short stories, but I haven't read all of them. And if it's anything like Demon Slayer, it should be dope. Like, the art is looking dope, is what's selling it. You know, like the snake, they got like one that looks like the snake pillar, Igoro. Mm-hmm. It's like the main character on the cover. So I'm itching for that to come in so I can dive into that.
You know what happens when you type in Demon Slayer? When you type in Demon Slayer, the top things are, wait, hold on. Demon Slayer ending, manga end, Muzan end, Muzan, is it good? Like, it's just all a bunch of shit about the ending.
The ending is definitely not what anybody.
Why they say she? But then they say Demon Slayer mangaka cried. Why'd she cry? I'm trying to see. Oh no, she cried because she liked episode 19. Well, she should have been writing shit. She shouldn't have been crying.
She loved the anime, and the people loved the anime too much. They probably kicked her door down for them chapters. Give us a new chapter. Where is the new chapter? She probably said there like, this is too much. I'm out.
I'm done. Yeah. Oh man, but that's what I'm saying. Shout out to the Full Metal Alchemist mangaka. Shout out to Horikoshi. Shout out to Oda. Shout out to these people that didn't let the pressure get to them.
Yeah, shout out to the ghosts that could literally withstand the pressure. Because I know not only does Shonen Jump and Shueisha put the pressure on them, but the world puts that pressure on them.
Yeah, look at us. Look at what we're doing right now.
Like, the fan base goes crazy. Like, I remember whenever My Hero, they had the doctor in there and they got canceled for a minute. People in China were like off that shit for a little while.
And then
it's a big deal.
America was like, y'all not canceling Horikoshi. Like,
and just imagine being Horikoshi. You sitting there trying to draw, and you just sitting there sweating like, oh my God, so much is riding on this next chapter.
But that's
so much is riding on what I got going on. That's
like when Oda had Whitebeard's flag as he had the swastika behind it, but it was really the Buddhist meaning for the Buddhist symbol that Hitler took. And same thing with Ichigo's hilt. Like, I'm shocked.
Cancel everything.
I'm shocked. Tite Kubo kept Ichigo's hilt for so long because it's a swastika. But it's the Buddhist symbol for us. It's originally a Buddhist symbol for like peace or some shit like that. But
nobody even questioned that shit. I don't think. Like, I don't
nobody
think
said
questioned the
Bleach thing. I think it's because it was in an age before social media. Because I think if Bleach came out like new anime and we see that, niggas on the timeline saying something.
That's true, for sure.
Like, big facts. But that's all the time we got this week. Chrissa, tell the people they can find you on social media.
At Chrissa SJE on Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, Spotify. Let's go, man. I got it everywhere. Anime content. Shit, man. You can find me onlyfans.com/Chrissa SJE. And I wish I was capping. You know what I'm saying?
No, he not.
Y'all hit your boy up, man. New content every week, weekly.
100%. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Chrissa. Y'all can follow me at LynBWT. Follow Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. If you're listening to this today, be sure to check out the latest episode of the Bros Who Think podcast. We actually have anime rapper Slick on the pod doing an interview talking about his song Bankai and much other stuff. Super, super dope interview. As well as me and my boys, Brooklyn and Doom, had to talk about this toxic femininity that's going on in the world. That was a really hot episode. Y'all be sure to check that out. But other than that, that's all we got this week. For Chrissa, my name is Lynden. We'll talk to y'all in 2 weeks. But me and Chrissa will go live, and we will have some content for y'all in the off weeks. So be on the lookout for that. Shout out to you, G Senpai. But other than that, until we talk to you next time, peace.